days. Pull yourself back together. Been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption. Time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory. Time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come. You're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle.
She doesn't have the time, always talks about all the other guys. Will I ever understand? Without her, it's not fair, I need you back. No more crying at the end, I'll do it again. I told you I was lonely, and I think it out my head, out my head. And even when I told you I loved you, I hope I do, know I do. talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah. Talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah. I left my demons in my past. I still want something that can last. You make me feel like I'm okay. We both know that you feel the same. Baby, I got nothing else to prove. You're talking about your best, I don't move. Remember that you always get to choose. Talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah. Talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah. I don't wanna be friends, yeah, I guess you got my intention. Got no place I'd rather be, feel like another dimension. I don't wanna talk, baby, you should let it go. I don't wanna go, let me say a little more. Talk to me, I just want a little bit of company. You acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah. Talk to me, I just want a little bit of company. You acting like you really wanna fall for me, but baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Wanna be, yeah.
We've got obsessions that we can't control. We feel the heat, but we don't wanna let go. We answer questions that we ask alone. I hear the words, but they're coming out an echo. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? Why complicate that feeling hate when it suffocates at the bottom? Don't take the bait, just walk away, resuscitate your nirvana. I feel a way I've never felt before. I finally found what I'm looking for. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? Forever in our open arms, we're thankful we made it safe so far. We proudly show our battle scars because they made us true. Would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? not a drill, hold nothing back. It's shoot to kill in this leap of faith that you're in me too. You stand alone, but I'll watch over you. The clock is ticking, the clock is ticking. A single second could mean everything. Time is running, the time is running out. Don't give up, don't give in. Don't let me down. Be the one to wipe their grin when they hear this sound. Don't give up, don't give in before they catch a glimpse. I know you'll find the strength within. This is your last chance. Now's your time to shine. Make it count. Under our sacrifice. And now this is your last chance.
Introduce me, I'm the renegade. Every single night, I crave the taste. It's the adrenaline running through my gait. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to waste. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. Look into my eyes, I'm not afraid. Take over my mind till it fades. Like a medicine, it keeps me safe. This neon lights lead the way. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. Faster than you. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. I tell you the truth. Just faster than you. Just faster than you. It's been a while, yeah. Safe to say over a year. Still it feels like I saw you every day. Tired of hanging around the ones that always need an explanation. I don't need to every day. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I could never be. Build me up, be when I'm still around. I feel something in the distance. I wanna know what it's like. Don't worry, I'm still with you all the time. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I would be. Build me up, ease my peace. Figuring out my parts that made me. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I could be. Build me up, ease my peace. Something's coming. I wanna be. Build me up, ease my
I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. It's just I never thought you were sitting next to me. I don't understand. It's just I never seen you smile. You wanna make out, give me a second. It's just you never talk, I never listen. When do we fall in love? Make up your mind, honey, 'cause I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. You need a friend. I can't help this time. I'm in trouble. It's your eyes, I can't seem to focus. It doesn't matter 'cause you live a lie. You want attention from every guy in the park, but when you call, give you my heart, you rip it out. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you.
I've been so anti yeah, you're a bad chick and you know that. Eyes roll back every time you throw that. Love letter on your bed, I wrote that. I need you and I'm not afraid to show that. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. up. I came up from a small town, no one hit me up. Now they wanna be my friend. Everybody play pretend. But now I'm pulling up in a Bentley. No, really ain't you can tell me. What? I just wish somebody would help me. This lifestyle is not healthy. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. She's a goth girl, welcome to my goth world. Fell in love with the diamonds and pearls. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. Sex faith with the new Saint Laurent. Party too lit, get kicked out. All alone, it's the only way to live now. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. I'ma get you anything that you want. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Yeah, I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Every day I wonder when I'm gonna peak at, and that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world.
For the last time, this ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life, I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste, I can't help you now, okay, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, follow me around, okay, black face, Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up, take a X, and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say done is why you sad. I said I just need the thing. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need to your phone. Get it back. Someone said it's sad. Cause I used to want it back. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times. Yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay, bad face, hey. Follow me around, okay, got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay, bad face, hey. Follow me around.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget. These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Day number 12 of ESL Pro League Season 12, and it's the Malta 2020 online season. We're back again from the ESL studios in Sydney, Australia, and it's great to have you with us once again as we dive into another day of Counter-Strike. My name, of course, is Elfish Guy, and I will be joined on the desk by a couple of lovely fellas. One looking quite swish in the floral shirt. I like a bit of floral stuff, Mac, you know. I feel like you've dressed up for me with the garden attire. And, well, Pilsky back in black as always.
Yeah, absolutely right. I'm just waiting for the day when you actually introduce the show and you say that my name is actually Jeff, not Elfish Guy.
Why?
My name is Jeff.
Yeah, that's why.
I thought you did a really good intro just then. You're actually happy. You look like you actually had a good
Actually
sleep
happy?
last
What do
night.
you mean? Isn't he normally
Well,
happy?
a lot of the time I'm seeing that intro coming in and he's not looking too pumped.
Jordan's
I tell you
always
what,
happy to be here.
I am on the exterior very pumped and happy and awake. Right now, interior, inside, I'm feeling like death. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. We've got some good Counter-Strike, which will hopefully warm me up a little bit. Let's have a look and see what we've got for us today. ENCE and AGO on the B stream here for you. And over on the main stream, they are currently underway with a bunch of their games. 2-1 for Heroic over Godsend. One apiece between Na'Vi and OG. And then the big one, at least what I think is the big one, is Furia and Liquid to finish the day off. So some good matches coming up and some good matches having already occurred, Pilsky.
Absolutely. I'm particularly looking forward to that NA game. I reckon that could definitely be a banger rematch of that Cologne Grand Final.
Yeah, well, Heroic and Godsend as well. I think on both the maps where Heroic won, they just barely won 16-14 a couple of times, having to go for the force buy right at the end. Even the final map as well was about to go to overtime, but Cadian, I think, clutched it in a one-on-one, and it was just like, wow, what's going on? And Godsend could have taken Heroic down. But now, this is where Heroic needs to find that form again to try to come back into the league and have a chance to make it to the finals, because they still have that chance.
All right, let's take a look at yesterday as well before we get too far into the discussion about today. And we had a pretty good game yesterday, which was maybe a little bit of a surprise. Gen G really showed up against EG after, you know, we saw that Daps isn't not going to be continuing with the team and some of the weaker performances that they had earlier on in the season. We thought this should probably be a bit of a write-off and EG should go through this one 2-0, no problems. But Gen G really pushed them.
Yeah, Gen G had some pretty fantastic CT sides. I was more expecting them to have really good T sides because, as we know, Daps is a pretty good caller that can, even with a bit of a lackluster environment or, you know, not having the best situation, he can still call a pretty solid T side and get you some rounds across the board. What was so shocking to me was how solid some of their CT sides were, some of their holds were. They were stringing CT side rounds together, keeping that money very, very good, even though EG had some really exploitative explosive performances at the start of Dust 2 and individually as well over onto Inferno, Gen G was still able to hold on, just using what they have been using in a lot of these tournaments. It was just very, very solid across the board.
Indeed, and into the CS Money pre-show for today. Mac, it's day number 12, so we're getting quite deep into the season. I think there's 17 days of regular season play, so we've got a few days next week, obviously, but starting to get towards the pointy end of things where teams really need to sort of start pulling up their socks and getting some points on the board if they haven't already.
Yeah, and I think there might even be one day where there's 4 NA games at once, unless
yeah, the final day I'm pretty sure is what they normally do. They have all the games from the same region at the same time, so that you don't have a situation where a team knows that they've already lost or that they've already won, and they can sort of game the system that way. Anyway, let's have a look and see how the standings are going at the moment, because that'll give us a better indication maybe of what we're talking about here, Mac, and find out how things are going in North America and whether or not we're likely to have some ties towards the end of the season. So far, so good for EG, Furia and Liquid, having all gone uncontested, but they have yet to face one another, right? That's the interesting thing about this, and I suppose this is done by design. You put those 3 teams against each other towards the end of the season just to build the stakes up a little bit. Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Gen G, Chaos, all fighting at the moment for that 4th place position, and Triumph probably out of the running at this point at 0-3.
Yeah, very, very tight in NA here. You can see it's going to be an absolute bloodbath for that 4th position in the group to see who's going to actually go through to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, technically Triumph could get 4 wins, so they're not out of it yet, but they're going to have to beat pretty much everyone, including EG, which is going to be a bit of a rough situation. But look, going forward, I feel like you're going to see EG staying up there. Furia and Team Liquid are finally going to see who is going to at least have a bit of a solidify their position.
Yeah.
I was going to say a bit of a hopscotch, over one another, but they're literally next to each other, so there's going to be no jumping around there. And look, 100 Thieves, Cloud9, they're going to be going up against each other pretty soon, and that's going to be a good game to watch.
Yeah, indeed. And over in the European region as well, there's been a fair bit going on. Complexity still undefeated at this point. In fact, they're the only team in Europe that is undefeated. And similarly, on the other side of the scale, FaZe is the only team that is winless at the moment. Things very, very close towards the middle of the standings there in Group B. You can see a lot of teams that are 2-2, whereas in Group A, things are starting to sort of work themselves out a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think middle of the table in Group B looks like a similar situation to what we see in NA. It's going to be absolutely crazy to see who slips into that playoffs contention. As for Group A over here, though, I think we're going to be going into ENCE and AGO. AGO, they had a pretty decent start to the season, but I think since then they've lost a couple of games, so this might be a chance for them to try to pick up a series potentially.
Yeah, and look, if they do win today, if Na'Vi gets the W as well, then we're going to have 2 teams in Group A, which are 4-1, and already have 5 of the games out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. And that's going to make things pretty interesting towards the top end. AGO, it sort of seems like their run is going to be done if they don't win today's match. Even if they do win today's match, it's going to be quite a struggle for them. But like you said, Pilsy, we saw some good stuff from them earlier on in the season. So maybe a chance today against ENCE?
Oh, potentially so, yeah. I give them an outside chance at any of these teams, so we'll see how they go when we actually get into the game.
Indeed, and we're going to talk about all of that in just a minute. It's time for us to take a short one. Don't go too far away, though. It'll be ENCE and AGO that we're discussing when we come back from the break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chances, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and America's Navy.
ENCE and AGO for us today on this fine morning, or perhaps it's evening for you guys over on the other side of the pond, but a good matchup nonetheless. And the question today is going to be, will it be easy for ENCE? Because we did see a pretty good game from them against G2 a couple of days ago. AGO is probably a little bit further down on the ladder than where G2 is. And I don't know, it's an interesting one, right? Because AGO is a team that can definitely cause some upsets, Pilski. We've seen that before. And I do wonder whether or not ENCE is going to be able to go through this one quite as easily as we might expect.
I think they will if they bring the right level of form into this game, because AGO, after a pretty strong start to the season, it seems like they're trending downwards a little bit. I'm sure that they could still give ENCE a run for their money, maybe even take an upset here if they're playing as well as they did against Heroic, for example, or in one of the maps against Big, but the map pool might be a bit of an issue for them, right?
Yeah, I feel like the map pool is going to be an issue because we know that AGO, they are very strong on Vertigo, and the issue is that ENCE also insta-ban Vertigo, and I don't think that's going to change today, so AGO might just have to pack their bags sooner rather than later, and I'm going to be pretty sad for them because we've liked what we've seen from this team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, AGO, we'll talk about them in a little bit, but as far as ENCE is concerned, fair bit of experience on that roster, but also some up-and-comers, so it's kind of a nice mix.
To be honest, like, this ENCE roster is kind of like the Finnish dream team in my mind. I'm sure there's other people who are a little bit better educated about the Finnish scene that probably would say, oh, look, you put this guy in there, I reckon it would be a bit better. But in terms of this 5, I think they've got a really, really strong team that definitely hasn't realized its potential. And I hope some of the victories that they're getting here in Pro League, like the one they got against G2 the other day, gives them a little bit more confidence. They're up 3-1 in their group. They're having a really nice run here. Yeah. And I hope that this is the start of an upward trajectory that continues for quite a while.
Yeah, and look, they've been looking really good lately as well. That win the other day, the 2-0 over OG, was a very, very solid game. Was it G2 or OG?
G2.
G2, sorry.
G2.
Look, there's like two characters.
Yep.
There's the OG or there's the G2, and I don't know how I get them mixed up. Maybe because there's a G in both of them.
What about EG? Does that ever throw you off?
Oh, mate, don't get me started with
EG,
the EG.
AGO, G2. What is going on in this? I don't understand.
It's crazy.
It's too
much.
It's
crazy world. It's too early in the morning.
Gen G. Why does everyone have to have a G in there?
Did you bring your clock today?
No.
You didn't bring your clock?
No.
Again?
You didn't.
Or can I get a time check?
You can get a time check.
You got to do it with your fingers.
4:51 a.m.
Beautiful.
I was going to jump in there and help you out.
4, 5, 1. That's the time.
Is that the right way around though?
Nah, maybe. Look, it's flipped, but maybe.
It's 4:51 a.m. in the morning. That's the real time check for you, Max. So how you feeling about that?
I'm feeling pretty awake, honestly. I woke up early, woke up at midnight, and I've just been killing it since then. So ready to get into the game. Just got to be a little bit more caffeinated, I think, and then it's going to be fun. But ENCE, look, I'm sure they're ready for this one.
All right, talking about AGO then, Pilski, these are your boys, the ones from Poland. You know, you've got a little bit of national bias. And how are you expecting them to go today against ENCE? We saw some good stuff from them against Furia earlier on in the tournament. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that they're going to be able to challenge in this series, but they do really have to turn up.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a chance for them. The thing is, right, they're already down pretty far in this group, so I don't think that it's realistic that they're actually going to be able to turn around and make it to playoffs. But that's not what I was expecting for AGO anyway. I've been, a little bit sad about the state of the Polish scene for the last couple of years, post-VP, after they had a bit of a downturn. But seeing teams like AGO and some of the individuals on Sprout, for example, actually gives me a little bit of hope. And I hope that this is the start of them starting to develop their talent, starting to become a bit of a mainstay here in ESL Pro League, and getting some of these younger guys a little bit of experience so that they can really bring back Polish CS in full force.
Yeah, I was actually having a bit of a discussion about this yesterday with some friends, and it's crazy how, look, Oceania's isolated, Asia's kind of isolated, NA's even isolated, and look, EG's at the top of the food chain over there. But here in Europe, there's a lot of these up-and-coming teams which still have all this chance to get the practice in against the big boys, and they are starting to come up. They're starting to get these upsets, and they're really looking good. So I feel like after the whole, isolation situation's over, then EU is going to be looking good, and the teams like AGO here, they're going to be the ones on the come up.
Well, I mean, that's really just the nature of the beast, though, isn't it? Like, EU has always been the strongest Counter-Strike region in the world, and there's a reason for that. It's because there's so many good teams there, and all of the teams that are coming up do have the ability to play against all of them whenever they really want.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think AGO is the perfect example of that sort of development project. Some of the other teams you could say, oh, they're sort of improving, they're putting the pieces together. A lot of those teams have pretty experienced players. I feel like this AGO team, yes, they do have some players with a fair amount of tenure, a fair amount of experience in the scene, but they also have some younger players without that experience. So they very much are a development project, and I want to just see them continue to get better.
And look, I just want to see Furlan pop off again because he's been going really well over the last couple of days. And I hope that they can do something here against ENCE. But ENCE have been looking so good. So again, I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where you want an upset to happen, but ENCE is just going to come and stomp it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And I think the main thing you're talking about, Mac, of course, is the map veto. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, we have an interview lined up. I believe it's Oscar-ish here from AGO. So it's good to have a chat with you again, mate. How are you doing today?
Hello, thank you. I'm doing fine, I think.
That's good to hear. All right, let's get your thoughts on this matchup against ENCE because, to be honest, ENCE has kind of surprised us a little bit with how well they have performed so far in ESL Pro League. So were you expecting them to be in this kind of a position when you faced them in that I think they're now 2-1 or 3-1 and they're looking really good in this group?
Yeah, they're playing really good CS. I think we have obviously some kind of chance and we're gonna try to win against them, obviously. But yeah, we just need to counter them on some of their plays. They plays, and we will see how it's gonna be.
So we were talking to you guys last time when you're getting a couple of upsets in the group, and last couple of games against some tough opponents haven't gone so great for you guys. Do you guys feel like you're improving and learning here in Pro League? Obviously, you qualified through from MDL. You're like the newcomers to the group. Even though you're taking some of these losses in, do you guys feel like you're getting better and improving for the long term?
Yeah, for sure. Like we watch every game together after losses, after wins. We always like to analyze together the game. I think we are improving a lot, but it's really hard to show it on the games versus top teams because they're gonna use every kind of advantage against you, like every kind of small mistake and so on. So it's really hard to show right now our biggest potential, I would say. But we are working hard on that, and you need to be sure that we are giving everything from ourselves to play as good as we can.
So I just want to know one quick thing, and it's just how confident are you going into this match today? And I know you've done your prep, but I just want to know how confident you're feeling.
Oh, I think we are kind of confident, I would say. We had some good results on pracs, so we just need to destroy them today.
Beautiful. Right. Well, best of luck in doing so. We're going to leave it there for you. Obviously, I imagine you're going to have to go and warm up and get ready for this game. So, yeah, again, best of luck, and we hope to see a good game from you.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, let's see how this one does go. And fellas, I think it's time to start thinking about the veto. I know we sort of jumped ahead a little bit, talked about Vertigo in particular, Pilski being quite a pivotal part of this veto, and it's unfortunate really for AGO that it doesn't look like they're going to get it today.
Yeah, it's usually banned away pretty quickly by ENCE, so that's going to be a pretty rough thing for AGO, because I feel like Vertigo is kind of their best map. Yeah, there's a couple of other maps that they can play pretty decently. We've seen them have a tackle at Mirage or a Train or some of those maps as well, so we'll have to see where it does go down in terms of the veto for them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see a bit of Train. ENCE the other day on Train looked pretty good. I'm going to say it every day. Look, Train's one of my favourite maps to cast.
Mac and I want to see Train. Name a better duo. Let's go ahead and see the first vetoes, though, because I think that's what's going to give us a good indication, and Vertigo is indeed gone. Overpass taken away by AGO. I don't think that ENCE is going to be too disappointed by that. I mean, they don't really tend to play too much Overpass either, so... it seems like it's a good start already here for ENCE.
Yeah, I think that this veto is kind of going to go in their favour, at least in the earlier portions of it. Yeah. Now I'm keen to see what the approach is going to be for ENCE, whether they go towards a Dust 2 or what they want to kind of go for here.
All right, well, I guess maybe we should just go ahead and find out. It's Mirage and Train. Okay. Mac, you finally get a bit of Train.
Choo-choo.
To be honest, Mac, if we put like a train conductor hat on you with that mustache, I could just picture you, you know, in the uniform, sweating away with all the steam and stuff like that, you know, fixing up the trains, mechanics. Yep. To be honest, that might be, you know, not really the content you want. If you're going into a CS game, you might be a little distracted by the thought of that.
Well, back away from the platform, Pilly. You're having a bit of a very, very vibrant imagination with this one. Jesus, all right.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's getting you hot under the collar a little bit, Pilsy.
Yeah, look, I'll just distract myself with the veto a little bit. Okay. I think Mirage Train... not too bad for AGO, to be honest. I think those are pretty good maps to start things off for them if they want to try to create that upset a little bit more.
Okay, what's the ideal world then for the third map?
I mean, what have we got left? I'm feeling pretty cooked at the moment. Dust 2, Inferno.
Nuke, Inferno, Dust 2.
I think Nuke probably for AGO is what they want. to be honest, but we'll see what they end up getting.
Okay, let's have a look and see what they do get here. And it is going to be Dust 2, which... we saw ENCE have a pretty good game on Dust 2 the other day against G2, so that does raise some concerns, but it is a map that AGO doesn't mind going to, generally speaking, so...
Yeah, I think AGO, they've looked a little bit lackluster on Dust 2, at least against Big, but that's quite a good team on that map. I think I would agree with you. I thought ENCE looked fantastic on Dust 2, and to be honest, anytime I see a team with Sunny on it play Dust 2, I'm usually pretty impressed.
Well, the thing was, that relied heavily on Alu the other day, popping off. So if Alu isn't popping off, maybe there's more of a chance for AGO to cause this upset today. So let's just see how ENCE look once we do get into the server, because AGO, I'm hoping that they bring their A game.
I did see a stat earlier on, and I don't want to take it with too much credence or anything like that, but Alu was like rated in some sort of capacity as the best AWPer in ESL Pro League this season. I don't know if that's going to continue. I think it was in terms of his kills per round and his total kills, so I don't know if that necessarily translates. Anyway, looking at the GG bet odds, you can see a bit of a hefty favour for ENCE today. And basically what I was trying to get at with that, Mac, is that I think Alu, at the very least, has been consistent across this season for ESL Pro League. So the performance that we saw the other day is probably in line with the expectation we'd probably get from him today as well. In fact, you might expect him to perform even a little bit better against a team like AGO than against a team like G2, who, in theory, should be a little bit stronger as a roster.
So I guess we've seen a bit more God Alu than Bot Alu,
Correct.
Is what you're trying to tell us. And hopefully we get to see some God Alu again today, because he hit some nuts plays the other day, and I'd love to see that. But again, I feel like because we've seen so much of AGO here on the B stream, you kind of want them to succeed. You love the underdog story. Like me in particular, I love a good underdog story, but I just don't know. Like, it's going head to head. I don't see how this one goes.
I think it's a very Australian thing to root for the underdog as well, because generally speaking, when Aussies go overseas, they're the underdog, and it's a little bit of a kindred spirit maybe. Either way, let's very quickly get your thoughts on this matchup before we go into it. Pilski, is it going to be a quick one today, or do you think AGO gets the upset?
I'm hoping that it's going to be a close one. I'm probably backing ENCE, to be honest, particularly with seeing that Dust 2 as a third map. I feel like they've looked a little bit more convincing on it against G2 the other day than what I've seen from AGO. So I'd say probably 2-1 for ENCE today, although I want to see AGO put in a good game here.
I think it's going to go straight 2-0 ENCE, only because I feel like it's the safe call. I would like it to be AGO 2-0, and I feel like that's what it has to be if AGO want to cause the upset is on the first two maps.
Okay, that's a nice opinion, Mac, and you were right last time you called the 2-0 for AGO, but I guess we'll have to wait and see whether or not that's going to come for us today. Let's find out, though, whether or not ENCE can uphold their end of the bargain as we move into Mirage. There's going to be map 1 here. AGO looking to get the upset today, and ENCE are looking to secure a position toward the top end of the standings and continue their solid run in ESL Pro League Season 12.
Yeah, pretty much mirror opposites, these two teams in the group at the moment. ENCE sitting up near the top. AGO really struggling to get very many wins on the board. They only managed to get that close one against Heroic. Smoke onto Top Kun and a flash to send Alu off of the line as AGO just send it straight up short into a 3-man B stack.
Oh, and the crossfire could be deadly here as they do start to lead the charge. Yampy going to be spotting all the information, but he loses his head for a P250. Looking too strong. Aerial just trying to dance around the pillars. Now it's from the side. Groovy comes in. Sunny's still able to hold the partners, but not for long. MHL deals with him. Oskarish onto Sergey, and this is looking good for AGO. The final kill found by Fiku, and AGO get on the board early.
Yeah, great start for AGO. They've just completely run over that B bomb side, and ENCE just disappearing. Only one kill in the round for that CT side, so not a whole lot of cash in the back pocket, and we'll see whether or not they're going to force buy in. Looks like ENCE are more than willing to take the save this time around.
AGO off to a pretty good start there, just busting out of the gates with the pistols. That's what you want to be seeing for them as the underdog here. Just getting in their face of the opponent, really rolling with the momentum. A lot of very explosive younger players in this roster. And even some of the other lads as well, like your Furlands and those lads can definitely pop off in the mid-round. Have multi-frag performances, Groovy as well.
Okay, so looks like we're going to see a double boost over CT after Alu takes contact. This is going to be an interesting one, or unless it's just double ticket. However, let's see how it goes. AGO working the way up mid. About to go for the A split after this smoke fades. And the CT's at the ready. ENCE just edging forward. Aerial going to be spotted under stairs. And now speaking of stairs, that's where Groovy's coming from. Two quick ones on the Galil. Plenty in the mag, but it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade now. Yampy under belt. Can't get work done. Fiku with the cover. And that's going to be 3 live at the end for AGO.
That was excellent from ENCE, to be honest. They almost got 3 kills out of that just with the default pistols, and now they're going to be buying up into this round. Should be looking pretty fantastic for them, Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of rifles coming out. There'll be a bit of a lack of utility, but hey, that's okay for now. AGO still yet to really get the ball rolling as well. Fiku did a good job coming out of Palace here, but AGO teetering on that precipice of getting reset if they do lose this round, so things will get interesting if that does occur. If not, if ENCE drops the round, AGO are going to be off to the races and will start to build really quite heavily in this first half. So the early momentum really resting on the shoulders of round 3 right now.
Yeah, you're looking at the boys on AGO getting ready to set up this execute into the A site. It's only Sergey there for the time being with 1 counter flash. You can see Sunny's got a smoke. No counter flashes to help him out. Aerial's lost his life over towards B. That's going to create a little bit more pressure on ENCE, who do have 2 on that B site. Now the execute comes out towards A, though.
Not a util being thrown on in, and Sergey's copping a few of those flashes. Now a smoke, he spams through it. Doesn't end up doing a huge amount of damage. There's a bit onto Fiku. Now the bomb plant goes down, but no players lost for AGO, and that is mission successful as far as they're concerned, even if they've lost a lot of HP.
Look at this, Furlan's coming in so late from the flank as well. If you can find the timing onto Yampi, that's nice, beautiful headshot, and that's going to be a 2-man advantage. Now, ENCE, do they just pack their bags from here? That seems to be the call. They're very worried about Fuku still just running around, or Furlan rather, on the flank, and he's still just there on the B side. He has so much confidence that ENCE aren't going for this round, that again, he's just going to try to cause more financial damage. Just edging in over towards market now, as the rest of AGO are already on the hunt. Sunny hiding in window, shouldn't be spotted by Groovy, although Groovy goes up in window.
Oh,
what? Are you kidding? Groovy, you can't do that.
I don't know if it's possible. I'd love to see a replay of that from Groovy's POV.
Oh, well, here's that entry from Furlan. Just doing so much work there. Pretty much single-handedly winning the round and keeping ENCE away from the A site.
Well, he did single-handedly win it, didn't he? Oh, here we go.
Here it is. No!
Oh, you can't do it to him like that. You can't do that to him.
That was textbook from AGO. They get that pick. That's like how to run a 1-4 in a nutshell. They get the pick towards B. Oh, Sergey has actually blocked that smoke in window. This could get him a bit of a freebie if he finds the right angle here. Long spray down, though. Trying to crab walk spray at that range. Unfortunately, doesn't work out for him, and MHL's found himself 2. And another one just running out mid. Death matching at this point.
Doesn't even need the AWP to be that accurate. He's just tapping heads left, right, and center with the AK. Sunny looking to recycle the M4. Let's see if he can maybe find some damage here. No, Molly going to keep him away from window for now, although it's burning on that the right side of window, so. Goes for the jiggle. Aerial solo on the B site, and AGO positioned appropriately to go for the B split, which is probably where they're going to end here. But ENCE going for the stack, going for the gamble.
I just love that last gun round play from AGO, though. The 1 pick towards B into the really, really solid A execute. All the utilities put in the right place. Now pushing into these last 2 players, though. How much damage will they incur?
Oh, Sunny. He's turned around on his head already, but he's going to fall. Aerial 17 HP and can't find the 1 dig that he needed. And AGO are going to send it to 4 on the T side of Mirage already.
Yeah, what a great start for AGO. ENCE, though, are going to go back into another purchase, and this time it's the double AWP Pilski. So a change up from them immediately. And double AWPs we often see coming out for the CT sides on Mirage, and that can be sometimes where a bit of a momentum shift occurs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if those double AWPs are going to work so well against the style AGO is playing. If one of them sets up on that BF's line, they could probably catch Furlan, who's been looking for aggression towards that part of the map pretty consistently, but you actually see this time AGO just going straight for the A execute, which is going to be a little bit better against those double AWPs, to be honest. Neither of them are over here towards this A site. Again, the execute comes out.
Smokes, just default smokes at the moment. Molly to bench, but Sergey going to be very isolated at triple as Oscarish wraps around, so he didn't have any supportive utility to send him through. Speaking of, Aerial finds him through the smoke, and that's going to be Oscarish falling. Man advantage still being maintained for AGO in the post lane.
Yeah, now you're looking at these AWPs, like neither of them can get an angle on anything. AGO just put that bomb down with the smokes. The second that one of these AWPs is going to peak, you got MHL posted on this line, unless there's going to be the boost up for Yappy there.
No, it's the flash coming in from Con and gets him on the line. Aerial down to 16, make it 0. MHL on the repick, doing great work for AGO. And again, it's going to be ENCE having Alu just last alive.
That's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, you're going to buy double AWP, and yeah, if AGO runs a default here, you could potentially get some picks, but that's not how they're playing at all. They're playing very fast, like up-tempo, really relying on those executes, and that's exactly what happens in that round. They throw that A execute, they isolate Sergey fairly easily, and then you've got a double AWP coming in on that retake. It's just not effective at all, and unfortunately, ENCE, they just basically get dominated that round, and now AGO, they're up 5-0. They've single reset that economy. You'll probably have to see a pistol half buy around that single AWP, and AGO have a fantastic amount of money in the bank account. They're looking excellent here on Mirage. They're really just playing a perfect game.
I really love that you talk about the pace at which AGO is playing at. They're really not giving ENCE all that much time to think at all. There's been no tactical pause coming yet from ENCE, so maybe they're not feeling under the pump too much. A bit of an investment behind the save here for ENCE, but realistically, things have been going so well for AGO. Sooner or later, though, something's got to crack. ENCE need to find something on this CT side, and they must be getting pretty used to dealing with these executes on A, and it feels like a matter of time before they float an extra player over towards A at the start of a round, or set themselves up on the bomb site instead of in towards CT spawn and in towards jungle, something like that. A change-up needs to be made for ENCE. Just don't know what it is, because right now AGO are more or less walking into the A bomb site and getting that bomb down every single round.
Yeah, well, ENCE, they're playing that mostly solo, and a lot of the time Sergey's putting himself in some pretty dangerous positions. Speaking of dangerous, Yampy almost finds himself the double dig, but couldn't get the second. Aerial coming in on the flank is going to have an easy job on Ferlin, who was very low. Another. Now here's a chance in the round. Man advantage for ENCE. AK going to be retrieved, but Aerial not going to spot. Oscarish peeking from Firebox now. It's going to be the Deagle, not done. Oscarish needs to clutch it. It's the one-on-one him versus Alu, but there's no kit, there's no time, and that's another round for AGO.
Yeah, big stuff again for ENCE, but just not quite enough to get them over the line. It does damage to AGO's economy, but Pilski, does it even matter when you've got multiple players in the 13,000s, the 12,000s, 11,000s?
Yeah, they're balling out of control. You should ask them for a small loan, Jordan.
Yeah.
At this point.
Buy a house.
And
First homeowners
Not in
grant.
Australia. Who are you joking with?
I'd buy a shoebox, mate.
Yeah, could.
Only cost me 800k.
Well, great start for AGO. Momentum's got to keep rolling for them, though. I mean, we know coming into this matchup, ENCE is the favourite. And I always talk about this when we're talking about an underdog and a favourite.
And mate, Shell.
Certainly the overdog in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the top stats for AGO at the moment. Really plugging away. In fact, they have very good stats across the board. Alu's gone down very quickly there, and now ENCE is sort of reeling. And you see AGO, after getting that pick, instantly back to this A play once again.
Well, I want to point out what we were talking about on the desk, Mac, where you were saying Alu has been an important figure for ENCE so far this season. At the moment, 0-4 out of the 6, now 7 rounds that we've seen played. So he's not having that same impact that we saw in the match against G2 at the very least.
He's not able to. He's just getting smoked off. He's getting flashed off the lines.
And look at this again. Sergey just going to be isolated in sight. Yampy tries to help him, but this time he's able to fight for at least one. It's a trade with the nade, and now 3v2 they go. Aerial unable to find another through the smoke as Sunny's still coming in on the flank. He made his way to top mid early, and he's been slowly making his way here silently.
Doesn't look like they're aware of his position for now. AGO certainly not putting too much presence in that area, but Oscarish by Firebox is going to be the linchpin. If Bigu can get this kill onto Aerial, then there's almost no chance for Sunny, as long as Oscarish just hides there. Not only that, but even Ferlin in Palace is going to be quite impossible to dig out of that position. So Sunny's got no real option but to try and give this one up. He pops the flash in there, but what are you even going to do with this amount of time? It's better off just to save the M4 and the util. It's a bitter pill to swallow, though, for Sunny, because now they're going to be down 0-7 ENCE, and the pain continues. And the question then starts to become, when does this pain actually stop? Because AGO are not looking like they're missing a beat. And while ENCE are making some of these rounds a little bit closer, the further we go into this half, you're seeing some picks on the entry now for ENCE.
Oh,
AGO
the boost.
Are not getting into these rounds cleanly. It's still not close enough to say that you think ENCE has actually had a really good shot at any of these rounds.
No, they've kind of been getting dominated. I think, like, if you're looking to improve as, like, a newer team in CS, you actually don't want to watch some of the better teams. You want to watch this AGO game right now, because the way they're playing is just textbook Mirage. They're really getting picks. They're playing an execute-heavy style where they're sort of just controlling the pace and the tempo of every round. Yes, they're not really running any defaults. They haven't really needed to as much. This time you're going to see a little bit of a different variation. You're going to see the right side wall of smokes on A, while you do see Groupie and Oscarish walk out underpass. Will this pull a rotation off from ENCE? It seems like Yampy's ready for this.
Oh, it's pulled 2 off mid, but again, Yampy from above. He's not going to be spotted initially, but the trade is there. Oscarish doing a great job from that position. And the bomb's still in control. AGO not making their way out of A main just yet, but ENCE, this time they realize what has been tried, and they've gone for that 3-man stack on A. However, AGO, they've made the read, and they're going back towards mid.
Yeah, I want to see if Oscarish is going to put a smoke on window, maybe try to push that rotation into MHL's AWP. That could be quite effective for them, but you do see MHL falling out of that position now. Alu posted on this top mid line where AGO is starting to posture.
Chance to start getting himself rolling a little bit here on Mirage. I think it's going to be the run boost, and Oscarish, he peeks around the corner a little bit too far, but MHL does at least get Sunny, so it's not without reward for AGO. Alu looks like he wants to go through this smoke, but might be better off just peeking above it. MHL is watching, and the trade does come through again for AGO. They've been very good at that, but this one is not going to be tradable.
20 seconds, Fiku brings it to that one-on-one scenario, and still the bomb. Oh, it's down on Cat. He has to go B on this situation. Oh, no, he doesn't know. Has he wasted too much time? Aerial, at least over in Market. He's going to hear him, though, and there's no chance to hit the brakes. Fiku, he's going to be spotted. 3, 2, 1. Could have gone for the kill, but he's missed that opening.
I think he would have had time if he actually booked it into the B bomb site.
I don't know if he would have, to be honest. And end of the day, I don't think it really matters too much, to be honest, for AGO. They've still brought that down to a one-on-one. Aerial, he has to drop a gun over, but the rest of their money's going to be cooked. They're not going to have enough for even one AWP, let alone the double AWP. And AGO still have cash for days. They're up 7-1. They're going to take attack timeout. They know how resettable ENCE's economy is. This would be a fantastic round for AGO to win. Not only would they go up 8-1, but they probably break that CT economy, at least for the single round, because they do have a lot of lost bonus at this point, ENCE. This is just absolutely fantastic stuff from AGO. They're playing a perfect game of Mirage right now.
So nice to watch. And ENCE as well realized that playing that single man on the A site just isn't the answer. So okay, he's getting caught off guard so many times. Yes, he might get one kill every now and then, but it just feels like being so isolated in sight, you're better off playing back at CT, playing for the retake.
Yeah, I feel like ENCE aren't really adapting very much to what AGO is doing. They're just trying to force their style into a wall, and it's just not really going anywhere at this point. Like to see some more supportive utility for Sergey over towards that A site, or maybe just go for a bit of a push, play a little bit more disruptively towards one of the extremities. That's what they're going to go towards A here. Let's see how it works out for them.
That's actually not too bad, but in the end, Furlan gets the trade onto Aerial as well. So 2 for 1, and AGO can't be disappointed with that. Now MHL watching the angle. Oscarish is already up connector. So quick for AGO. And they're into the bomb site again. 1.5 minutes left on the clock, and they've already gotten rid of 4 CTs. They've got the bomb plant down. Round is over in less than 40 seconds. Unbelievable. AGO, the pace they're playing at is just really unstoppable.
I think they realized ENCE's economy was a bit in question. They might not have had all that utility necessary, and if they were holding the faster approach, there you go, straight out to A. There's nothing to stop you. Oscarish up con as well. The stab in the back is just perfect.
I'm not sure they necessarily wanted to go for a faster play straight off the bat, but the push into ramp from ENCE, like that's one thing AGO, another thing really that AGO's been doing so fantastically. Their spacing and their trades is so crisp. Like every time someone dies on AGO, they're traded instantly. It doesn't matter what part of the map it's in.
Been round of calls as well for AGO, no hesitation. And they are working as a well-coordinated unit at the moment.
All of them switched on, both individually and in terms of the team context. You absolutely love to see it. And this is the AGO that makes us want to root for them, man.
Yep.
Saw a lot of this kind of AGO against Heroic.
And Furia.
Furia? Were they playing in NA?
Did I say Furia? Who did they play against?
You meant Big.
Big?
Yeah.
I think I meant Big. I think I said that in the desk as well.
Yeah, you've been cooking the team names.
You just really love Furia, don't
My
you?
favourite is when we were casting an EU team and you were like, into the game against Beyond or something. And I was like, Jesus Christ, mate.
That's what 5 AM starts will do to you. A bit of a change-up for AGO, though, in this round. They're heading towards the B-bomb site, which we haven't seen them do too much of.
Oh, the timing. Aerial's actually going to be spotted here, so that's a freebie for Oskar. Alu not close enough to
how
trade.
has he gotten away with that?
Oh my god, the timing was absolutely immaculate. And now look at this. Sunny has to try and get something done. 1 dig, we'll make it a 3 dig, whatever you want to call it. Coming back through, Groovy on the line. Molly to stop him from coming out of market, and Sergey might stop Fiku from the lurk here.
Oh.
There's a nice 1 dig. Yeah. Crispy.
Yeah, maybe not crispy enough. It's 1 on 3 for Sergey. And ENCE just seem to be back in that same old sort of a problem. 1 on 3. Flashline's in his face. He can do some damage, but realistically, is damage going to matter all that much to AGO? No, not at the moment. And to be honest, they're giving him the respect that he deserves, throwing all this util in his direction. Now they know where he is, and he'll be finished off pretty cleanly by MHL. Does go down to 2 players, and it was just a pistol buy for ENCE, so you can argue that in the context of just that round, they got a decent amount of work done, but in the context of the half as a whole, it's not anywhere near enough from that round, and it's just another one on the board for AGO. They're now up to 9-1, and if ENCE doesn't start to turn things around now on this CT side, they're going to run out of time.
Yeah, I think they kind of need like 4 out of 5 of these rounds to try and bring it towards the 10-5 scoreline and get that pistol on the T side, start rolling with the momentum, but I feel like ENCE just looking a little bit too flat at the moment. It's like this game's almost over already. B smoke's coming out here for AGO. I think they've thrown the same smoke twice, unfortunately, which is a bit weird. They've thrown that right side Macca's arch smoke twice, rather than both sides of the wall. In the meanwhile, though, they have boosted Furlan up into window, pulled that rotation.
Maybe just some miscommunication. However, look, bomb going to be left in unders for now. AGO just playing around it, seeing if they can get some extra map control from here as Groovy doesn't full commit towards the B site, but he's got no utility, so he should be able to go out an entry. But again, you got Fiku and MHL both lining up the Archer's smokes again, which are going to come through for a late hit. The double pump on the B side.
Look at all of those flashes. Groovy can't do too much with them. Yempi does actually win the aim duel, and that feels like the first time in the map, really, that ENCE have actually started with the opening frag. It's going to falter fairly quickly, though, because Furlan's worked the timing coming through from window and gets in behind Aerial. It's just Yampi now, and they know that he's somewhere on short. MHL has spotted him, but will be taken down, and so far so good, actually, for ENCE. They're trading effectively. Sunny also got a kill in the meanwhile, but plan's gone down now for AGO, and a 2-on-3 on the B bomb site for the team defending the bomb is winnable, particularly because of things like this. Furlan catches a freebie, and we're back to 2-on-2. Fiku catches Sergey. And Alu has to do it himself, but he can't.
It's the double Fs. Furlan with the 4K and Fiku to find a single, but 10 on the board already for AGO. And look, ENCE, they went for the fast approach. They tried to rush out on site knowing that they had the numbers advantage, but then they just couldn't get the kills. Furlan, he's just too good at the moment.
I think you need to chuck a couple Fs in chat for ENCE at this point, because they're getting absolutely shut out of the server in the early round, in the mid round, in the late round. They aren't really getting anything going. AGO just on another level right now. Scuffed by coming through for ENCE once again. Going to try to go for a bit of a push up mid.
Sergey looking to take contact. Him and Aerial. It's actually Aerial to thread the needle. Another fully blinded, taking Fiku down, and that's a big pick to get.
Well,
so
Furlan,
2-man advantage.
Furlan's already worked his way out onto the B bomb site. You talk about the 2-man advantage, but can that shift back? Yampi, he does win the duel, luckily. Down to 15 HP. Could have been problematic, but now looks like it should be an easy round in the end for ENCE, and that's the first time that we've actually said that in this half.
Easy for ENCE.
Is it a little bit too little too late, though? You know, even if they do get to 5.
I don't think so. I think 5 would be a good sort of scoreline for ENCE to get to. I think if it's 11-4, it might be a little bit too far gone for them, but I think 10-5 plus a pistol, you're cooking with gas a little bit for ENCE, but they're going to need to start warming up individually because they look about as cold as it is in Finland usually.
Well, pretty clean round, all things considered. Only Alu falling at the end. A couple of AKs picked up for ENCE as well, so they're going to be happy with that. And Yampi just managing to wrangle the spray. Sunny taking out Groovy, who was also pushing on the other extremity. And ENCE just seemed to deal with that round pretty easily.
And I think that's kind of what they needed. Be aggressive, be disruptive to AGO's style at the moment. need to get in their face a little bit, make them second guess themselves.
Well, the thing is, they've gone for mid control a few times now, but AGO just hasn't contested it. They've just done their own thing, going for these AXs, and again, that's what they're going to do this round.
Yeah, got the double set up towards CT here for ENCE. They can go for that boost after looking for an initial pick. Out comes the exi for AGO.
Nade in a nice position to get some free damage onto AGO. So much utility damage done, but Verlin still manages to get first blood. That's ridiculous. Alu just standing on a common angle.
Man, these A executes have been so successful for AGO. I can't think of a single round this half where they've pulled the A execute out that they've actually lost. This one's already going well for them too, but that's a double kill coming through for ENCE. One from Aerial, one from Yampy, and speaking of doubles, Aerial has doubled down now. We're back to the 1-on-3. Fiku has to clutch it, and he might just be able to do it. Already Sergey and Aerial going down, but 7 HP. Taking it in the 1-on-1 against Yampy is not going to be easy. The peak will come through, and Fiku will win it. It's just another nail in the coffin for ENCE.
Are you kidding?
And 11-2 the scoreline now for AGO. If anything could go wrong for ENCE, it has.
What's Fiku had for breakfast today? The man is just on fire. Somehow he gets away with 2 in that situation, and then on 7 HP, the 3rd as well, in a round where he never should have won. There was so much time on the clock for Yampy to take his time to find the line, but Fiku just stops him in his tracks.
Well, ENCE money pretty cooked now. They're going to lose that first pick already. Furland full blind, has the spawn for mid, just runs out there with the AWP and already puts ENCE in a rough position. They've made that push into Palace, but control of Palace is about all they've got going for them. AGO now continuing their control and emphasis through underpass. Going to take a bit of mid control, potentially into connector or window. And I feel like ENCE, Jordan, they probably should have adapted to this by now because it's literally in the name. A, go. Go A every time.
True. I've heard that one before.
Quality analysis coming out from your boy Pilski.
It's literally in their team name. A go.
There's no secrets here.
How could it be any more obvious? I can't believe they haven't figured it out yet. Can't believe it took us this long, to be honest. But anyway, I mean, the thing is here for ENCE, there's just no time to reset. Every single round is just, the pace is blistering. This time again, though, good trades from Sergey and Aerial, a good crossfire, but that's going to be dug out by the utility usage, and Furlan getting the better of Sergey when he has to peek out from that Molotov. Alu's position as of yet, though, unknown, but a 3-on-2, and as long as AGO can deal with Alu effectively, they should get themselves a free round here. Bomb plan's going down relatively safe. Groovy should die, but Alu!
Oh, he's got
2. Can't quite get the 3rd. Furlan! Oh, no scope!
What? Again! How? Out of nowhere. That should be around. Alu knew exactly where they all were. And then Furlan stops them. One more time. That's 12 on the T side of Mirage. This is getting ridiculous points.
Yeah, it's disgusting. We were saying, maybe 5 for ENCE. That might be okay. Well, not really an option anymore. How about 3, Pilski? What do you reckon about 3?
Nah, I don't even want them to get 3 anymore.
I agree. I just want to see AGO
go
through
Polish bias.
This is really getting the inner Pole in me going, and that's just...
Hang on. Oh, yeah, you can't say that on broadcast, Billy.
Look, it might be after dark in ANZ, but it's not after dark where everyone's watching this.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
I guess I won't see you tomorrow or the next day.
Don't talk about your inner Pole anymore, Pilski.
Oh, there's so much terminology that's technically correct to where I probably could get away with saying it on broadcast. But look, let's just move on. And I think that's what ENCE is going to want to do after this half is done. I've already lost that man advantage. AGO now moving towards that B site. Going to close things out over there. But I think it's pretty decently set up to try to defend this, to be honest. Yes, they don't have any utility, but if AGO comes in here a little bit too lackadaisical, you could probably see the CTs making something happen here.
Has AGO looked anything like lackadaisical for you this half? Not for me. AGO, here they go though. Util's getting thrown on in, and Aerial does start off with the first, but he is going to be Traded back on in by Furlan, and now it's on to Gruby, Oskarish, and MHL. Gruby very aware of Sunny wrapping in behind, and just Sergey left. But he's denied the bomb plant now, and into the 2-on-1. Doable! MHL, though, hits the shot. You cannot believe it. AGO have gotten themselves up to 13 in the first half of their own map, and ENCE are struggling.
Hope you learned your lesson, girl. I cannot teach anymore. Hope you show some faith in men. I am not like anyone. I am over being sober with myself, and I'm with you.
I've been so anti yeah, you're a bad chick and you know that. Eyes roll back every time you throw that. Love letter on your bed, I wrote that. I need you and I'm not afraid to show that. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. My world falls down when you pick me up. I came up from a small town, no one hit me up. Now they wanna be my friend. Everybody play pretend. But now I'm pulling up in a Bentley. There really ain't shit you can tell me. What? I just wish somebody would help me. This lifestyle is not healthy. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. She's a goth girl, welcome to my goth world. Fell in love with the diamonds and pearls. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. Sex faith with the new Saint Laurent. Party too lit, get kicked out. All alone, that's the only way to live now. Yeah, we do what we want when we want. I'ma get you anything that you want. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Yeah, I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world.
13-2 in the first half, and I'm not really sure what to say about it. A blistering pace being set by AGO, and ENCE not really showing up to this match so far. It is map 1, and it is AGO's map pick, so it's not the end of the world just yet for ENCE, but you can see the shift in momentum that has caused, and that's kind of numerically represented by the shift in the betting odds here as well. ENCE was very, very far and away the favourite in this matchup going into it, but not so much anymore. It's like even now starting to lean back toward a bit more of a 50-50.
Also musically represented. We had the Bible Thump song coming into the break. So that's the ENCE track right now. That's their theme song.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get themselves out of that sort of rut at the moment that they've unfortunately ended up in.
Did you just call Sarah the Bible Thump song?
Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, no time to discuss, Mac. They're going straight onto the A site.
I think we're going straight off the A side as well because, well, ENCE haven't really gotten anything done here. It's Sunny and Sergey left to try and pick up the pieces right now, but AGO, they're the ones doing the janitorial duty.
They just
Dude,
peek out
AGO
and die.
are so good today.
They're just going into a DMZ, dude. They walk out one step over the line. It's just absolutely destroyed.
Fiku's farming. Look at Farmer Fiku there just sitting in his chair.
Yeah, they're trying out for that farming simulator esports thing that was announced a while ago.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What happened to that? I thought you were going to get a gig casting that,
It's
Jordan.
like a 50k farming simulator tournament, wasn't it?
That man's cultivated a crop or two in his time.
Oh, yes.
Get those Polish potato farmers make some vodka.
I do like
Love
to
see
sow
it.
my seed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want. Do you want to elaborate on that, Jordan?
I planted some pak choy and some basil the other day.
Oh, nice.
Pretty
and
good.
Pak choy's just coming out.
Okay.
Little seedling.
You can chuck that in a stir fry, maybe?
Yeah, props.
Yeah, send some basil my way when it's done. Anyway, for now, Yampi's gone down and ENCE are looking to maybe capitalise on a round. They've gone for the Force Spy. They've got the Deagles, a couple of smokes to play with, and a whole lot of mid control. So this split about to come through, but AGO appropriately positioned to deal with the split.
MHL's going to take a peek into Con. He'll spot Sunny out. Hasn't seen anyone else just yet, but now has the info on Aerial pushing up as well. Starting to be a little problematic for Groovy, who's being pressured from a couple of sides, but he deals with Aerial well, then is able to turn around and deal with Sergey. And it's just Alu and Sunny left here again to try and get the remaining scraps sorted out for ENCE. Not that it's going to be too easy for them. 1-on-4 now for Sunny.
In he comes, unfortunately unable to land that initial one dig. Position known, and AGO send it to map point, 15-2. So, at the start of the day, boys, did you think we would ever get to a situation like this here on map 1?
No, sir!
Mac!
What?
How many rounds do ENCE need
The
before you start to believe?
The turns have tabled.
How the tables have tabled.
Well, ENCE will need probably about, I'll believe once they hit 10. If they can get 8 in a row here.
I don't know if I would even believe then. I reckon they need like 13 for me to start going, you know what, they might actually make this happen.
I'm just giving you a logical answer.
It's just one round though for AGO, that's all it takes.
Well, Execute coming in for ENCE, and Fiku almost loses his life, but luckily Dance is out of there, at least for the time being. Nice off angle from Groovy. It's worked out nicely.
Sergey unable to get too much done there in CT. Is just going to drop that smoke to try to get the bomb planted. Alu trying to fight here from default, not looking good. It's going to be AGO just completely crumbling onto the site. Alu, he goes down, and AGO take map 1, 16-2. Absolute devastation here. AGO looking good today.
AGO getting themselves a very quick, cleaner victory on Mirage against ENCE, and it was an ENCE that didn't even feel like they turned up at all. 16-2 was the scoreline, and that might well have been actually the quickest map of CS we've had in ESL Pro League here on the B stream, and I dare say it would challenge anything over there on the main stream as well, because that one, you blink and you miss it, really. A lot of those rounds in that first half, particularly when AGO were on the T side, were set at a blistering pace, some lasting less than 30 seconds, and, well, that whole half really lasted less than 30 minutes, and subsequently the map went by pretty quickly as well. I mean, realistically, fellas, that was... I mean, I don't know what to really say about that. AGO just dominant.
I do. AGO played a perfect game of Mirage, and it's not in the sense that you say, like, oh, they just went into the server and absolutely, like, they did out-firepower them, but it wasn't just that gimmicky playstyle that you sometimes see in some of these one-sided games where it's just people out-fragging the other team individually or people having impact. It was in every single aspect. Not only was the firepower better for AGO, the tactics were better for AGO, they won every single clutch. Like, everything was just going in their favor in that game, and that is the kind of AGO we want to see.
Yeah, and look, we were having a quick chat in the break as well, saying that, yes, ENCE, they are a great team, but here in Mirage, they just weren't adapting to their opponent. They weren't playing that opponent. They weren't playing AGO today. Maybe they had strats set for other teams in Europe, but they just certainly weren't working to what AGO was throwing at them.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if they reacted a little better to that A push from time to time, maybe they were able to get in there with a bit of ramp aggression. That would have been a bit better. Sometimes they did go for that, though, and they ended up just getting traded pretty quickly. So AGO just a little bit too on point in that regard. Some of the rounds that went a little bit better for them was with a little bit of that mid-aggression. Maybe if you had a bit better of a setup towards that A side or Sergey being supported a little better, could have worked out a little bit better for ENCE. End of the day, though, I don't know what they really could have done, realistically. I think sometimes, particularly in online CS, you play an opponent that's just playing out of their mind, and you just go, okay, go next.
Sometimes you just got to lose, and speaking of go next, at the very least for ENCE, that was AGO's map pick. So we'll move on to Train next, which is obviously ENCE's selection, and that should be a bit of a refreshing taste, a refreshing change. The grass is greener on the other side, or at least ENCE is going to be hoping so, because they need to reverse sweep the series from here. So if AGO can bring that kind of a pace into Train, I reckon it'll still be difficult for ENCE to deal with, but they should be feeling at least a bit more comfortable now going into their own map choice.
Yeah, well, AGO, they will be starting out on that CT side, and ENCE, I think that's going to need to be a bit of a wake-up call for them. They're going to be on the T side. They're going to need to set the pace and the momentum pretty early on from the get-go to have a bit of a chance at reverse sweeping, and I think if they do make it to Dust 2, it's a realistic expectation that ENCE can actually win the series.
Well, not MHL, rather. ENCE, they have a pretty damn strong T side on Train. That's something that they do have going for them. So AGO, I haven't actually seen them play Train, not too sure what they're going to be able to pull out of the hat, but they're looking very structured today. They're very good at going together, so I feel like their T side should be pretty strong as well, but starting things off on the CT side, they didn't really get much of a chance to play the CT side there, and it was just, they were just all over it.
All right, well, we'll see whether or not AGO can somehow secure the 2-0 today, or if it seems even more unlikely, ENCE can come back and reverse sweep this series, because they did not show up on Mirage, but they're going to have to here moving into Train, and that's where we're going right after this break.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chances, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and America's Navy.
Well, it might be a tough ask today for ENCE to secure the victory against AGO in a matchup that we thought they would be favourites in. So far, a 1-0 scoreline and a very comprehensive victory for AGO on map 1. 16-2 on Mirage, and they'll have all the momentum in the world heading on to Train. Luckily for ENCE, that is at least their map choice, Pilski, so there is some comfort in going into your own map choice. But the form in which AGO is in right now, it's hard to imagine that they're going to lose this series.
Oh, I don't know about that, to be honest. We see online results flip-flop all over the place, and I think ENCE is a team where, yeah, they can definitely let their foot off the gas pedal and look a little bit lackluster from time to time. GG Bet odds now sort of going back a little bit closer towards AGO, very, very close between these two teams. I'm keen to see if ENCE is going to be able to show that good level of form map to map, though. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, well, I think we did actually see AGO play against OG on Train the other day, but I feel like we didn't get to see too much of it because it was 16-6.
That whole series was one-sided, so...
Yeah, well, that's what it really felt like. But, you know, AGO didn't look like they were playing their A game the other day when they played OG. So it's a different AGO in the server today. So going into Train, you know, AGO losing to OG, but ENCE beating OG by, you know, a good margin over in overtime, managing to wrangle a huge comeback. We could be on for a big series.
Yeah, I don't know. Head-to-heads are a bit like weird to sort of go off in this online sort of era. You know, people always just beat each other all the time. I feel like you can't even just go like Asia CS is a perfect example of that.
But what are we breaking down? What are we doing here?
You break it down? We're breaking down. We're not breaking anything down. We are breaking down, Mac.
That's true. That's true. It's like, what, day number 12 of 3 AM starts, and it's got to end somewhere, hopefully. Anyway, for ENCE, they're going to hope things on Mirage are going to end somewhere, and that somewhere is hopefully going to be Train. Otherwise, they're out of this series. It's a reverse sweep required for ENCE, and they move on to Train. AGO looking fantastic so far in this series, but we're about to find out whether or not they can keep that kind of a pace up over the course of 2 maps, or if that was a one-map wonder.
I'm wondering that as well. We will see AGO starting out on that CT side, so hopefully they can get nice and comfortable. Won't be able to set the pace as much as we saw on that T side of Mirage, but let's see if they can hold on individually. ENCE already setting up for this B plate on the pistol. Just that one setting utility on Sunny.
We're going to see an early round aggression towards B. Looks like it. Contact out upper. Flash from Sunny, and now Groovy, what's he got for us from the back of yellow? That's going to be a whole lot of distance created, but oh my god, Groovy, are you kidding me? 3 quick ones. That P2K is just going straight through ENCE now, 2v4, and AGO have the man advantage for the retake.
Yeah, not really sure what to say about that one, but it seems like a continuation of Mirage. ENCE are going to need to step up to get through this one, and it's just Sunny. And he has 3 opponents to find. Furlan, Oscarish, and Fiku. Smoke down on the bomb. Furlan with a defuse kit is going to get right on top of that. And the cover is coming across there from Fiku as well. So, an easy pistol round in the end for AGO, but fantastic work from Groovy. And continuing that pace that was set by AGO on Mirage is a beautiful thing to see.
Again, how's he got all 3 there? That was ridiculous coming out from Groovy. Anyway, into the anti-eco we go, and let's see what AGO have for us here.
Gonna have the Deagle purchase from Yampy. Sergey's got a Deagle as well as Ariel. Just gonna try to chip away at that CT economy before you go into the next buy round here, ENCE. Nothing crazy. Should be a bit of a slower pace round.
That's exactly what we're going to get as well. AGO is not too eager to let anything slip at the moment. Just 1 set of armor though for ENCE, so even if they do pick themselves up a Deagle, a gun rather.
Fiku at the ready. Yampy, he's pretty sharp on the dig at the best of times, but so far today he's had a bit of a slower start. And Fiku has been hitting everything. And again, that's going to continue. So first blood found by Fiku over on the B site. ENCE a little bit separated now. Looking like they might just try to sell B. No, okay, Alu just went on a retrieval mission for the dig. And AGO, they've stacked inners for the moment, waiting for ENCE to bust their way through. But it looks like it's going to be the 2-pronged attack at outers instead. No util. It's just going to be a dry hit in a matter of seconds. 30 seconds for ENCE to get to site. Now Oscarish should be able just to clean up here.
Yeah, it looks like it should be a fairly straightforward one here for AGO. They've lost 1 gun, but that's more than acceptable on the CT side. And already off to a good start. Now, ENCE are going to buy in here, and this is where they're going to look to try and turn the momentum around. I mean, I've said that a few times. I said that in the first half of Mirage. Didn't happen there. Second half of Mirage, pistol rounds. It's just not happened yet for ENCE, and we may well get to a point where it doesn't happen. They might run out of time before ENCE really shows up to this game. But either way, AGO are going to be hoping that they can continue the good performance that they put in on Mirage, and so far they've done that here on Train. But yeah, big important round for ENCE to start to get the ball rolling on their own map choice.
See if they can do that. Somewhat limited utility on some of these players on ENCE. Sunny's had to go head armorless, which could be a bit of a factor with the distribution of M4s and FAMASs across the CT side. ENCE keeping it simple here. Bit of utility. T-Con control actually for AGO, but just running straight down. Lower ramp. Fiku's already gone. See you later.
All 5 straight out lower, and that was a little bit rough. Now just looking to control that B site, AGO. Only 3 alive for now, and In the 3v5, it's looking pretty slow. Oh, wait, there they go. Okay, and we're back. Straight into it, and AGO are straight into the save as well.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, that's not ideal, obviously, for AGO. If they would have come out with a really, really solid gun round there, it would have been a huge, huge statement, and ENCE would have been, again, put on that back foot. But now we have a game on our hands. ENCE have got the first gun round. They've got a very impressive first gun round as well. Alu's found a frag pretty early on in the piece, and he's going to be an important linchpin, particularly when ENCE moves over onto the CT side of Train. But AGO also able to keep a bit of money in the back pocket here. They've got the guns through to the next round as well, so they'll be able to buy in. And it's going to be a jostle, a brawl, really, for the momentum at the early half of Train.
Pretty simple strat out there for ENCE. Nothing crazy, just a contact play straight down low ramp. Find that entry. Alu has got that rotation angle locked down with that AWP. AGO post-save will be able to fly up once again. But this is the reset for them. If it doesn't go well, they're going to be in a pretty rough position. ENCE much better utility this time around. Alu finding a nice tag right off the bat onto Furland, but will vacate the Olaf position, at least for the time being.
Yeah, he gets away from those damage. Molly's all coming out. Oh, deep nade. Misses the mark barely, so ENCE just going to be chipped away at Furland, waiting for the timing push. I don't think Ampy's been spotted here next to the server. Smoke, not quite deep enough, so Furland just going to be going shoulder to shoulder for now. Oh, and that looked like it should have been easy, but Yampy pulls it back and survives on 12 HP.
And that's the kind of aim duel that ENCE would have lost comprehensively on Mirage. So to see them winning them here is a good sign, but might have spoken too soon. Oscarish, a very sharp shot onto Sergey, and Gruby now has a double kill for himself. It's Sunny all on his lonesome. And he will get a kill onto MHL, but that is just the start of what he needs to do in this round. 1 on 3 from this required, and he's picked the AWP up. He's low on HP after that duel with MHL. Going doesn't get easier.
When Gruby's actually left the area just at the wrong moment, so he's not going to be spotted. Sunny in this 3-on-1 looks like he's opted to save, just putting his back up against the wall and able to fight for his life if he needs to. But AGO, again, that's going to be a third round secured as Gruby. Oh, he might actually spot him here. There it is. So pole in the way.
The pole behind the pole. The pole sticking up for the pole. You love to see it.
You love to see it. How's your pole?
Pretty good. To be honest, I don't think ENCE are too fond of poles at the moment. They're kind of getting impaled on them in this series.
Yeah.
It's not going well.
No, they're kind of running into the pole. You ever run into a pole, Jordan? Is that why your head's like that?
Probably. I haven't really, I don't remember it. You know, it's kind of one of those things where probably knocks you out a bit. You don't remember the last 5 minutes before you hit the pole, so.
That's fair.
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't.
Wait, is that why you've got an egg on your head?
An egg?
That lump?
No, that's from the chickens yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Your hair is a bit of a bird's nest, Jordan, so it makes sense to me.
Hashtag cancel Ethan.
Cancel Ethan.
Wow.
Can't believe that guy.
Can't believe you guys endorsing cancel culture.
Look, he killed 3 chickens. I don't know what you want me to say.
I think it was like 5. You don't know how many was in the pile of chicken spinning.
No, that's true.
Look, there's a couple documentaries on Netflix that you probably shouldn't watch, Jordan, to be honest, if that kind of thing disturbs you.
I'm not going to.
Anyway, there's no chickens in this round. It's just guns for everyone. Light utility remaining for AGO, using so much to keep ENCE out. And speaking of ENCE, they've only got 3 flashes, 2 smokes to decide on where to go. Looks like we could see the double drop in a moment, but Oscarish seems to be at the ready. Beautiful flash, unfortunately not going to be hitting Oscarish. Only Oscarish doing the hitting. They blinded themselves with that one.
Whose flash was it, though?
I think it was a Freiburg flash, to be honest, but look, it just missed the mark barely.
Barely.
Yeah, definitely not ideal, just flashing them, and Oscarish turns from it easily, and now they're just getting owned by Furland and Gruby. Riflers on AGO, starting to clean this round up.
But Alu might have just worked the timing up on green. He knows that Gruby's around this position. Nice flick upwards. That's going to be a man advantage now for ENCE. But look, combined, they've got less than 50 HP. And Oscarish, he's going to be spotted. But one bullet is all that's necessary. But Sergey lands the one that matters. And that's going to be the round ender.
2 on 4 from ENCE. Really turning it around and actually breaking AGO's economy. MHL's on a double eco.
All right, so Jordan, see that flash?
Yeah, mate.
It's called Freiburg Flash. Because Freiburg was the first person, at least on stream, using it.
Yep.
You underarm it, you get it to land in the pocket as you're dropping down, and it doesn't blind you. But the issue is, it did just barely miss.
I see.
Even though you made a joke of it and said, yeah, just barely.
Yeah, but they flashed themselves, Mac.
Learn the game, Jordan. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
get a couple more 1,000 hours, then talk to me.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
I don't know.
That's my
I don't know
tangent.
what your thousands of hours have to do with flashes, Mac. I'm pretty sure that like 7 of those AK are on KZ. So
it's a good shot from Oscarish. We need a bit more than that, to be honest, and they're not going to get it. Sergey holds down the spray and catches MHL in the head as he tries to fall back away into the smoke. Hence, back with a vengeance here on train. It's going to be a grind for AGO if they're going to get through this map. You can tell that already.
Oh, Furlan gets the bink, but he's going to be completely collapsed on. Another bink for him, but unfortunately unable to find himself a kill. Now, moving into round 7, ENCE, they've evened the odds. They're back to the 3-on-3 situation, or 3-to-3 situation, rather.
yeah, AGO just have to take another save though. That 2-on-4 was pretty much the tipping point for AGO, I would say. They really couldn't afford to lose that. If they had won that round with 4 players alive, completely different half. But ENCE winning that 2-on-4 cracks them in terms of the economy, gets them onto a double eco. Now ENCE start to build up their own money. Massive impact from Sergey and Alu to turn that one around. And now at this current point in time, AGO looking a little bit rough. This is where we need to see what AGO is made of. It's all good and well to be winning when we've got the momentum when you're steamrolling ahead on Mirage, but now things start to get dicey. Are they going to have the resilience to be able to grind out a game here against ENCE?
It might be Fiku that's going to have the resilience this round, because over toward the B bomb site is where ENCE are headed. Groovy rotates across. So there is 2 players on the CT side to hold, and in fact, actually a third, 4th even floating here for AGO. So ENCE, I don't know if they're trying to pull the rotations or if they're actually going to commit to this, but if they do commit, they're in a world of hurt. It's 2 players on upper. Sergey, no idea at all, and Groovy has the info that they're on to the bomb site now. An AK for Fiku. Bomb's dropped, and he can't hang on to that second kill onto Yampi. Oscarish gives away his position. It was the perfect setup for AGO, but they didn't land their shots, and ENCE gets through the round okay.
Well, they did initially. Got very scary, managing to get their hands on the AK, continuing to fight for sight. But then Yampi just wraps around and gets everything that he needs to get another round on the board. And just deals with them nicely. So, good route. And Oscarish, he could have managed to thread the needle there if he just didn't hit that shot or didn't shoot that shot. But look, he was feeling it. AGO's feeling it. But they're going to be feeling the power of EMP right now. Now, ENCE into round 8. What have they got for us again? MHL and Furlan on the double op. Oscarish manages to get the entry.
He's over that Ivy pressure. Just takes matters into his own hands and finds the man advantage for AGO, who still have the double op setup here, actually, but unfortunately, Groovy getting isolated in SL, and Yampi's just on a bit of a tear on this T side with the rifle.
Yeah, you can just tell how much more uncomfortable AGO are on train than they were on Mirage. MHL pegs one back, and it's onto the 3-on-3, but it's still not looking comfortable right now for that CT side, and ENCE have plenty of utility to get themselves into this bomb site safely. Throwing it, however, will give away their intentions and bring that rotation back across from AGO. MHL has been spotted. Oscarish has grabbed himself an AWP as well. Fiku can't win the aim duel against Yampi, but Oscarish is able to trade down onto Sunny. 2-on-2 now. Double AWP for the retake. Never going to be a fun situation, and considering both don't have a defuse kit nor any utility, this won't be an easy task, and perhaps even an impossible task for AGO. It looks like they'll back away. Oscarish has called it in towards CT spawn, and another is given over to ENCE.
And there you have it. Solid rounds coming out. Both AWPs saved for AGO, so they should be able to force around this now. They've got, a decent round loss bonus starting to be accumulated, but that's if they want to. Obviously, they can just go for the half bite, keep the nades in order going forward.
Okay. Half fire around this saved AWP for AGO. Trying to get anything going for them in this half, but unfortunately, this is what I was kind of worried about for them.
Yeah.
Mirage, they weren't really tested by ENCE. And now you're starting to see ENCE play their normal game a little bit. Yeah, they're not at that top level of performance, but they're grinding out the game. They're making things difficult. Oh, that's an awkward situation, but does seem like ENCE.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were going to be able to recover from that. Now AWP picked up by Furlan.
Oh, my. And a situation where ENCE might have just lost another round. That's going to be triple ops at the moment. AGO going to be utilising these perfectly. Oscarish dances back to Sandwich and drops the smoke as well. Sunny coming out to try to help out Yampy, but Yampy's gone down. It's just the orbs looking so good, and it's Sunny looking at the ground now. Furlan just doing so much work in the round. 4 kills off the back of a couple of beautiful deegs.
What a crazy round there. AGO just making the Deegs work, picking up some AWPs. What an absolute mess that ended up being.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good round for AGO to win, but it's not the kind of round that is going to get them a really solid first half scoreline here. Just give them the opportunity to do so, don't get me wrong, but they're going to need to win some gun rounds, and they're going to need to do that cleanly. Triple AWP set up as well for them, and they are going to have to hope that they don't let ENCE get a bomb down in this round.
They got great money as well. The push on Ina from Furlan with one of those AWPs, though.
So just teaming up with Furlan, getting aggressive there. Oscarish was actually breaking the windows and throwing a nade towards the top of SL, but there weren't any ENCE players that were tagged by it this time. I think Sunny might have took, what, 8 damage, which isn't a lot, but if they do continue to do that and ENCE start to pressure Inners, then it could find themselves a huge amount of free damage.
Well, AGO now in the 4-on-5 after losing that pick. You can see ENCE holding down some of the extremities. Now starting to rendezvous back towards this inner side of the map. Fiku waiting in the smoke. MHL could flash over the top for him, but he will just dry walk up, try and find the timing here.
Oh, nearly does. Not aware necessarily that there's a player to his left. Gets back away in time. Now keeps an eye on upper.
I like that aggression from Fiku. That's found the information. Now the rotation back across from AGO. Trying to stack this in his sight, but ENCE, it seems like they want to throw some utility in towards B and then head down SL and take that out as control. So it's going to be on Oscarish to hold this side of the map down.
Has an AWP in hand, but no util to keep ENCE at bay. He'll keep an eye, a sight line toward E-box. Kind of prepared for someone to come from T-Con as well by the looks of things. Here comes ENCE though. And they may actually end up committing to that B bomb site, Pilski, contrary to your thoughts. 17 seconds, and Oscarish has caught Sunny. That's a good start for Fiku on B as well, but a better response for ENCE as they grab themselves 3. 8 seconds left in the round. Won't be a concern when the bomb plan's on the ground, and now it's on to MHL. 1 on 3. Flashes himself. That's okay. Plenty of time still to play with here, but I'd say Aerial at the moment is going to be the really problematic one, playing that close angle.
Alu in a clutch position, and it looks like MHL just hasn't found a second, so he's just going to go and save the AWP across. And looking at the economy, AGO again should be able to force around the AWP. It should be a pretty solid buy, all things considered, but, you know, keeping one more alive here with the extra armor, with the AWP, of course, it's just going to be that little bit stronger into the next.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it, for AGO? Because they did win that really important round to give themselves that opportunity back into this half, and now it sort of feels like they've let that slip a bit. They should get another buy through to this next round, but ENCE are already putting 6 on the board, and that might just be a little bit too much to deal with for AGO. We've already seen their struggles on this map in that matchup against OG that we talked about on the analyst desk. So tactical timeout here for AGO and a decision to be made. What are we going to do in this round?
Well, kind of getting ground down at the moment. ENCE finding that opening pick and then just kind of outplaying them in the mid-round. I like the way that ENCE is playing this T-side of train. They really sort of just play a pretty loose configuration of players. One player or 2 players might make a bit of initial contact, or they might throw a bit of utility, and they do sort of have a couple of players going a little bit more on the aggression, looking for some of those picks, but the rest of the players also just playing off those players getting the initial contact, holding down the angles, anticipating the rotations from the CT side. Really enjoying watching this T-side train style from ENCE. And they now have a bit of a window for themselves to actually reset that economy on AGO and steam even further ahead. Will they be able to take advantage of it?
Well, ENCE just looking to show some presence at Ivy now. Still plenty of util to utilize. Oh, Yampy is going to beat that smoke. Beautiful crosshair placement, pick up the headshot, and that's going to be Ivy control. Smoke on Sunny's side, but he's going to go straight through it, and that's going to break up the troops for now. Aerial at least managing to get the trade across. MHL cannot capitalize on the refrag, and now it's Oskarish just trying to fight from Old Bomb. I don't think he was spotted, though, so let's see how the wrap goes back through halls.
They're just not hitting the same shots that they were on Mirage, and that's a big difference for AGO. Some of these 50-50 aim duels, or it feels like almost all of the 50-50 aim duels, more so, are leaning toward ENCE, and time again, you're having to see AGO saving their guns, back away from the bomb site, give up rounds, which is what ENCE were having to do on the CT side of Mirage. So it's a complete flip of what we saw on that first map. And that's obviously great news for ENCE. AGO are not out of the running just yet, but it is slowly starting to slip away from them.
Yeah, AGO on Mirage, they were playing their game. Oh, it's a double flash. Oscar is just so white there. Unfortunate. ENCE are just sort of dictating the pace of the game. They're playing their game here on Train, their T side. They're taking duels everywhere that they want to be. Just playing loose and allowing the individuals to find the timings on the peaks, and it's the complete opposite for AGO Mirage. They were playing their game. They were running around the map doing whatever they wanted and everything was working, but now that they moved on to a little bit less comfortable map for themselves here onto Train, you're seeing a completely different game. And I'm kind of wondering, you know, it could be a number of factors. Is it okay, hold on a second.
Well, that's a factor. Straight on the head. Oskarish picking up the entry. Now, AGO, man advantage. How do they spin it from here?
Well, they really need this round, don't they? But again, it's just not going to be that confident round that we want to see on the gun rounds in particular for AGO. So they need this, and then they need more. As you say, it's a good start for them. Grooby's trying to get aggressive with that AK into x-kom, but he made a lot of noise getting in there, so surely ENCE are aware of this possibility at the very least, and he does elect better of sticking around, decides to just back off. It's 4-on-4 in the meanwhile. A pick came across for ENCE.
He got tagged quite heavily through the wall as well, so ENCE very aware that he was there. They could hear the bullets hitting. And Yampy just waiting for a re-aggression over towards Ivy. Oh, timing favours him again. Now, that's going to be the AK at least recycled. Looks like Yampy's actually spotted that one being picked up. So Oskarish gets away. But has he drawn enough attention? Grooby's still here on the corner, waiting on the dark side. But does he have the force to use?
Oskarish does. 3-on-3. 36 seconds. Things can go wrong for ENCE when time starts to tick away. All it takes is one mistake or a good position from an individual, and it might be Fiku coming from behind that can be the linchpin, or perhaps Oskarish on the bomb train, but Alu spotted him. Through the smoke, the spam goes through, doesn't connect onto Grooby, but now it's Fiku's time to strike, and he's gone a little bit too early. Spotted by Sergey, didn't check behind him.
They went out shoulder to shoulder, playing on the edge of the smoke. And he just didn't look in front of him. He was too focused on the planter.
Love the quick swap to Sergey there as well.
Yeah.
Right at the last second, just so he could see that kill. Beautiful. Well, another round that gets a bit dicey for ENCE, but look, it's all well and good to find some kills on the pistols when ENCE is getting a little bit loose. But you need to win some gun rounds here, AGO.
Yeah, 4 may just not be enough, but I guess we'll see in the second half how it goes. But for now, 3 more here in the first. Furlan very aggressive here at Ivy, but looking to dominate some control. And Sunny, he's called out for a helping hand. Aerial coming back for the moment, at least just to grab the bomb, make sure that doesn't get left behind. Sunny, he's backed away completely and forfeited this control. So looking to play from a longer range, maybe. No, okay, re-aggressing to this position. Just mollying out the cutout there.
Yeah, looking for the trade on that player on the extremity, but has been vacated by AGO. Now falling into a more sort of normal setup for both teams, but with 50 seconds burnt off the clock, this puts a little bit more pressure on ENCE to make something happen.
Oskarish needs a bit more than that, and he gets it. 3 kills. That's fantastic work for him, but he's traded back down by Sunny, and it's still only a 2-on-2. AGO have not looked good in these clutch situations, and there's just another instance of it. Fiku drops. The magic is gone.
Oh, the timing, though. MHL. And the cover is there, but he doesn't shoot either of them. He's managed to somehow literally thread the needle straight between the two T's, straight between the legs
it's a field
of
goal.
Sunny. Oh, you hate to see that.
One or the other would have been good, but neither was not it.
He went for the right kill. Like he was posting up on Sunny there, not the player planting.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. If he hits that shot, very winnable round. But that's just kind of AGO in a nutshell on Train.
Yep.
Well, let's see what they can do to salvage here in the 14th round. Big flash to get some information. Push from lowers, and Sunny's fully ready for this one. AK in hand, but it's a 1-for-1.
They've really looked competitive when they've had pistols in hand, AGO, but that's about it. Gun rounds have been really clean for ENCE, with the exception of that last one. Here's another chance for salvaging something, but Alu gets one with the Deagle. He's run out of ammo. Isn't going to get chased down in the end, but AGO are still continuing to put numbers, frags up on that scoreboard.
Alu falls eventually, but Yampy could salvage. 1v2 now. He's got a bit of work to do. For less than 50 HP on both of the players, but there it is. Timing from Fiku is beautiful. Again, cops 1, but does more than he takes, and there it is, 5 on the board for AGO. Is it too little, too late, though? That's the real question here.
I think it is. And I think that they definitely need to get 6 here to have a chance, and then the pistol in the second half. Because ENCE are looking like they're back with a vengeance. But I've been wrong before.
Yampy's so good to watch working this Ivy position. The man's crosshair placement, always in the perfect position. The way he maneuvers around, takes some of these duels. It's lovely to watch. Yeah, the nade stack there. On towards the back of the bomb train just to try to find something at the start of the round with minimal investment and minimal risk for ENCE. Yampy, unfortunately, that's the dink through the box for him. Should have been a kill on Oscarish every day of the week, but he does go down instead.
Fiku's in a bit of an off angle, and he's going to catch Sergey. That's a nice start to the round for AGO again. It's been a little while since they had a 5-on-3 favourably. Found a lot of 3-on-5s. But ENCE have always found a way to dig themselves out of sticky situations on trains, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It is just a solo player on B at the moment. That's Fiku, and ENCE are headed in that direction, so should be a bomb plant here for ENCE without too many difficulties.
Yeah, Fiku just stays alive. The retake should be a little bit easier, so that's just what he's going to do, sitting down below Cloud. Smoke to Con as well. Sani just trying to find Fiku, and he does. All right, now retake may just not be as strong. MHL, great trade coming in from the AWP, but it's a 2v4. AGO, can they get this 6th on the board?
Alu's been good in these clutch situations, has found a couple of frags in the 2-on-4s already, and Aerial pushed up close. Well, he's going to have to do it alone now. Furlan, low on HP, waits on the corner, gets the headshot.
Okay.
Surely right now, Groob is just diving onto that bomb to defuse. Actually, no, it's planted open for Aerial. I didn't even realize, and now it starts to be a bit of a sticky situation for AGO, more so. Aerial's won the round. I don't think that they're going to get this done, AGO, and they won't. Aerial secures double digits for ENCE in that first half. Another one, a 4-on-2 that falls apart for AGO, and it seems maybe their dreams of a 2-0 are headed in that direction as well.
I came to hit but never run. not a drill, hold nothing back. It's shoot to kill in this leap of faith that you're in between. You stand alone, but I'll watch over you. The clock is ticking, the clock is ticking. A single second could mean everything. Time is running, the time is running out. Don't give up, don't give in. Don't let me down. Be the one to wipe their grip when they hear this sound. Don't give up, don't give in before they catch a glimpse. I know you'll find the strength within. This is your last chance. Now's your time to shine. Make it count.
Well, it's a bit of a change up from Mirage, isn't it? And quite a refreshing change up for ENCE, who get double digits on their T side of train. A much more comfortable map by the looks of things for them. And AGO, they're not able to keep that really unstoppable momentum rolling. So I guess that means it wasn't unstoppable momentum. It was, in fact, stoppable momentum.
That is very true, Jordan. Hey, do you like nade stacks?
I love nade stacks.
Really?
Yep.
Let me show you this cool nade stack here that the boys on ENCE did. Onto the bomb train. You love to see it. Just 3 nades right off the bat.
Did it get a kill, though?
It didn't, but imagine if there was someone there.
That's epic.
Epic.
I'm imagining so hard right now.
I'm imagining that AGO is going to get into this B bomb site. Let's hope the dreams come to reality for all you Polish fans out there. As do make the initial contact onto Sergey there and set up for a bit of an execute.
Well, decide not to actually push straight off the back of it. A grenade is the answer. It doesn't actually do too much damage to Fiku, but now that that smoke's down, AGO are going to have to push through it to challenge Alu. They've done a reasonable job of that. Still yet to clear Sergey out from the bomb site, but that also won't be too much of a problem for them. And so the pistol round looks to be quite good here for AGO, which is the start that they're looking for in this second half, and one might say even the required start to the second half if they're going to have a competitive map of train. Yampy and Aerial working their way back in, but now it is just Yampy after Aerial copped a headshot from Oscarish. Fiku ducks away behind Oil Train and then repeaks, finishes things off, and that is AGO to grab the all-important second half pistol.
Very nicely done as well. Might take a little bit of a look at that one before we head to the next round. Because it's a pretty nice execute that AGO throws out there, something that's quite common on this train. You got the force buy coming out for ENCE in the meanwhile, but yeah, you just have these 2 smokes thrown out as well as some flashes. You can see it blocks off those lines. It just cuts the 2 players playing inside off from the rotations there. Initial contact towards t-Kon. Doesn't go too well there for Fiku though, as this fast hit comes out onto the A side for AGO.
Yeah, Ferland's already put down to 20 HP. He copped the scout shot as well. Trades are coming in from both sides, in fact. Alu, even with the USP, gets the better of MHL, and it is falling to bits right now for AGO. Groovy gets the important frag. In fact, he's gotten 3 of them. But look at how low these 2 remaining Ts are. Yes, of course, Yampy's also low, but Groovy and Oscarish, 1 shot for the scout, 1 shot for the deagle. This is not going to be a fun angle to check, and they need to get control of that bomb, which Groovy has now done. And you've got to be thinking at this point, do we go B? Do we just reset this fight? Because the setup that Yampy and Sergey have is perfect to deal with Groovy and Oscarish damage. And Oscarish is stuck at E-Box, takes the peak, has to make something happen, and it's all over. AGO, they lose the force by, and ENCE, oh, well, we're back to back again.
Well, they make it costly. And at this point, you're looking, okay, there's a double eco. There's a chance that AGO might just buy and try to slog away at the economy. And it looks like that is the call. Okay, so they're going to go for the ambitious play and try to upset ENCE in round 18.
kind of have to. They're on that double eco territory, so they're going to try and make this pistol force buy work and just reset ENCE's money right off the bat. Initial smokes onto Sandwich and E-Box there to try to limit the info, but the Molotov returned from ENCE and Aerial gets up to a close angle, getting all of the information in the world. So ENCE feeling a little bit more comfortable now. Aerial now slipping into T-Connector as x-kom AGO run boost across Ivy and potentially set up for this A-site split.
EMP just waiting, hoping to find something dry through the smoke. Aerial looking to get aggressive here as well, but MHL just lurking around the corner. AGO yet to show their hand. But close range with this UMP, Aerial can dish out so much damage onto the two Ts that are going to be coming through this part of the map. Looking to slide their way through T-Con. Flash comes through. Aerial at the ready. Drops the smoke. How's the timing?
Yeah, it looks good. Dodges away from a potential flash. There wasn't one to come. That's a great start for ENCE. Aerial's got 2. Sunny also the same, and that'll actually end up being 3.
Beautiful.
Couldn't have played it better, really. E-Box and Sandwich smokes come out. Aerial just goes, cool, man. I'm just going to push into T-Con. And as soon as the execute does start, after all that disruptive utility is dropped from ENCE and AGO start to make this Ivy split into the A site happen, Aerial just drops his smoke. And one big arm of the push is stopped by one CT, which takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the CT defense, and Sunny just cleans the rest of it up.
We need to ask, in the post-game interview, why Sunny is sitting in such a dark room. It just seems so ironic.
Well, it's not looking too dark for them on train.
I don't think they have sunlight in Finland, right?
Really?
Are they at that point of the world where like half the year they're dark and half the year they're light? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
Maybe he's got no choice.
What part of the year is it? Jordan's going to have a Google for us. I feel like we should just rely on the chat. They've been educating me about geography.
All right, well, put it out to chat. All right, chat. What part of the year, what solstice is, you know, I guess it'd be the winter solstice would be the one where it's dark, and the summer solstice the one where it's light?
It says in summer, which is from May
We're
to
asking
August.
chat, don't do the know-it-all thing.
I don't care what chat has to say.
Oh my god.
24/7 daylight for 2 months in Finland from May to August. But it's not May or August. So.
Wow. That's pretty sunny. Haha.
Well, it's probably not quite as sunny as it was a month ago.
Well, it's going to be a faster approach from AGO, who don't seem to care how sunny it is on the A side. It's going to be Aerial maybe just trying to work the timing flash through to Sandwich, but Oscarish at the ready. And that's going to be the man advantage early for AGO. Oscarish looking for more, though, just baiting out the info from Yampy, but Yampy wins the one-on-one.
He's still going to have to win another one, and he does. Furlan also dropping as he creeps out from Ivy. Now AGO have that numbers deficit, and they'll put a bit of the util into the bomb side, but creeping up into the site hasn't gone too well for them so far in the half, and I'd imagine that it's probably not going to go too well here either.
Everyone says it's dark, and it's getting darker for ENCE as this round goes on, as they have lost those 2 picks in the mid-round. Alu's going to bring one back. Ruby going down here. I think that's probably going to be it. HL, 17 HP. Not much of a dream. The dream's really dwindling at this point, and Alu just dunks in there from downtown, all the way across the court.
Chat doesn't like you, Jordan, by the way.
That's fine.
Really angry at you.
That's fine.
But they gave us solid answers. So
when have they
very
ever
dark
liked
right
us?
now. Very, very dark right now. Anyway. That was another big round coming out from ENCE, and it puts them 2 rounds away from taking map 2.
They don't have to like me, Mac. They just have to follow me on Twitter.
At Elfish Guy.
That's right.
Usually you have to get people to like you.
No, they can send me hate mail. It's fine.
Ah, of course, of course. They can do that without following you.
Anything
so I
for the
suggest doing
impressions.
that.
It's fine.
Regardless.
Regardless, 14-6 is the scoreline, and ENCE are having a good time. Half expected this. Didn't really want to see it, to be honest. I thought AGO, if they got that 2-0 today, that would be a really compelling storyline heading into the rest of ESL Pro League. But ENCE have fought back. Furlan not even going to get the bomb down in the round, and that's just a demolition.
Yeah, cool execute, bro.
Sick exy. Nice smoke to Con, which hadn't popped before everyone ran out lower. And they were just pretty much like the blockers to try to get the bomb to site. Unfortunately, the bomb just doesn't go down because this nade is perfect. Alu, look at that. Sign him up. Chicago Bulls. Pick him up, mate.
One round away for ENCE, and it seems that they probably are going to get over the line quite comfortably on Train. So it'll be a 3-mapper. Quite a quick first couple of maps, though, I must say that.
Mirage was quick. This game has not been quick, even though it's a 15-6. Very, very slow, crawling pace from ENCE on the T side. AGO, they're trying to play a bit more up-tempo, but the wind is really out of their sails in Train at the moment, which is kind of makes sense because Trains don't actually have any sails.
Trains definitely do not have sails, and I don't think they ever had sails either. Bad timing for Fiku. He's caught out by multiple angles.
What about ticket sales?
Okay, well, fine. Got me on a technicality, did you, Pilski? Congratulations, well done.
It's the only way I can get you, Jordan.
Everyone with a clap for Pilski.
That was the weirdest sounding clap I've ever heard. What have you done to your hands? Well, ENCE, they take the victory 16-6, and that's going to be map 2 all the way to the 3rd. We're going to settle the score between these two teams.
My mind is a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best, my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world.
For the last time, this ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life, I see the clue between between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste, I can't help you now, okay, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around,
One apiece, ENCE have made themselves get back into the game. A bit of redemption there on Train, and a very quick and clean victory for them. 16-6, quite a comfortable scoreline. Maybe not quite as good as what AGO did on Mirage, which was the 16-2 to be fair. But hey, can't complain too much about that one for ENCE. It puts them right back into the swing of things and now gives them the momentum heading into the final map, which is going to make things a little bit interesting here. AGO, they were feeling like they were in a good spot. They were getting ready, prepared maybe for a 2-0, and that's no longer the case. They have a tough grind ahead of them here as we do move into our third and final map, fellas. Let's talk first about Train, though. A good response, a nice rebound from ENCE, and everything that went wrong for them on Mirage seemed to have been shored up on Train, and things started to go wrong for AGO on Train.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like if you look at Mirage, AGO, they went out there and they actually won that game, and they outplayed a ENCE that was looking very lackluster. I'm not really sure that ENCE really played that much better on Train. Like, they played good, don't get me wrong, but they didn't play 100% or anything. They were kind of just going through the motions, you know, running out a decent T-side and giving AGO enough rope to hang themselves with, and that's exactly what AGO did. Really didn't look like anything like they did in the first map, and very, very lackluster performance for them, and ENCE just punished them for all their mistakes.
Yeah, well, it just felt like Yampy really woke up in the second map, because that's what felt like was missing for me over on Mirage, was just a few individual performances. Even Alu, it didn't seem like he got a lot of action, but he was actually 15-9 at the end. So he only died 9 times in the map, but still managed to almost get that 2 KD. So doing a really good job there on the AWP, and if he brings that across into Duster, if he starts to connect and continues to just not miss a shot, then, well, AGO, they're going to have a very rough time going to Dust 2.
They are indeed. So far, things are looking a little bit better for ENCE. Everything warming up a little bit. Maybe they're the kind of team that does make this reverse sweep happen. Pilsky, what's your take on how this is going to go? I mean, AGO, I think you said you might have preferred to see them on Nuke. Dust 2's looking like a map that could be pretty tough for them.
Yeah, Dust 2 looked really lackluster for them when I watched it. I think they were playing against Big, which, to be fair, Big's one of the better Dust 2 teams in the world. Yeah, it's really going to be up to AGO showing up, in my mind, at the end of the day. I still don't think ENCE is playing as good, even after that very one-sided Train victory, as they did the other day against G2, where you saw all of the boys fragging across the board. So ENCE still has another level that they can hit, and AGO, they need to go from right down here, which is what we saw on Train, to back where they were on Mirage.
Well, that's the thing. MHL on Mirage, he was looking so damn good. Only got 7 kills on Train, and that should be an AWP's playground. So he didn't really get to hit the speed that he was hitting over on Mirage, but over on Dust 2, again, it's another map where he needs to have that impact if the upset is to happen over ENCE.
Indeed, and that's something that we're hoping to see, maybe. Whether or not it's going to happen, though, remains to be seen, and we're going to head to a quick break, so you're going to have to wait a little bit as well. We'll be back right after this, though, with Dust 2, the final map in the series.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
If you want to know what you're good at, and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
right here forever. You surrender, it's forever. You know, yeah, this right here forever.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chances, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and America's Navy.
One apiece the scoreline between ENCE and AGO as we do now head into Dust 2. It's the final map in this best of 3 series, and the momentum is all with ENCE. They picked up a 16-6 on their own map choice after turning things around. A 16-2 loss is what they faced on Mirage. Dust 2, though, an interesting prospect, Pilski, and maybe a bit of a surprising one as well, Mackie. We're looking at some of the stats here. We thought we might see a different map in the pool.
Yeah.
What do you reckon's going to come for us on this one? Is it ENCE? Is it AGO? What are we getting?
Well, as I said in the pre-show, I feel like if AGO were to take this today, they had to do it in the first 2 maps. So going into Dust 2, you've got ENCE who's beat Na'Vi, beat G2, beat OG. Oh, they haven't actually beat OG, but they beat FaZe as well. They beat a lot of people here over on Dust 2, so they've got a pretty solid Dust. Whereas over on AGO, they're losing to a bunch of other teams. I think they've beaten Sprout like once or twice, but a lot of teams which are even lesser so than them, they're losing to them. And you can't go up against ENCE in a situation like this expecting to win.
Are you on the same train of thought, Pilski?
Yeah, I am. I think if you're looking at AGO heading on to Dust, they need to embrace that Mirage play style. On the T side, they need to play really high pace, up tempo, like quick out long, or some fast mid to Bs, maybe some contact bead plays, which is some simplistic utility. That could work pretty nicely for them because ENCE is looking a little bit weaker individually, at least some of the players today, a little bit slow out of the gates. I think the AWP matchup's going to be pretty important in particular. MHL a bit quiet there on Train, which is also an AWP-centric map. And Alu had a pretty big pop-off performance the other day against G2. So a lot of different factors that could go either which way, but I think ENCE should take it.
Indeed, and the news is that AGO won the knife, so maybe that's a benefit heading into this final map, but we are about to find out. We move on to Dust 2, map 3 in the series between ENCE and AGO, and both teams looking to pick up a win here in ESL Pro League. ENCE for the reason of securing their place at the top of the standings, and for AGO to make a bit of a competitive mix towards the middle.
AGO, they've chosen to start out on that T side, and I like that a lot. Set the tempo, set the pace in towards this matchup. They've already done that by taking the long control, at least for the time being. Pardon me, as my banana bread tries to escape my body.
You are pardoned, and I'm sure the banana bread will be fine there. However, look at this at long. They seem to be aware that Furlan can be out towards blue, and that's going to be spotted as well. No Molotov to flush him out, but off the back of this information, let's see what ENCE do. They're just going to hold the crossfire for now. Sunny going to be flashed off the line, has a counter bit of utility himself as Aerial goes back off it, finds himself a second. This is looking good for ENCE.
Yeah, it is indeed. Aerial still, well, I was going to say surviving in pit, but he doesn't for too long. Groovy, actually. Turns things around for AGO. And it's an AGO that is suffering a couple of losses, but the same can be said for ENCE. And long control is there for the T side, so they have their options available. Smokes are going to go down into CT spawn, and now the flashes for the progression. AGO might not have the easiest time of crossing. Alu's watching it, and there goes one head. We'll see if he can get too many more. Alu's doing a great job from short, but Fiku inevitably does salvage things. Needs the bomb, however, and he has to jump back in towards CT to collect it.
Spots ahead there in CT, but the second's coming too. So Fiku full control. Unfortunately, it's going to be Sergey tapping heads there with the CZ, and that's going to be first round on the board for ENCE on the CT side.
That's something they did so well the other day against G2, is just keeping that CT economy really, really strong. Winning a lot of these rounds convincingly, getting that CT pistol. If ENCE can do that again here today, then AGO is going to have a real tough time of things. Keen to see AGO, they need to bring that same momentum, that same pace that we saw on the T side of Mirage if they're going to have a chance here, and that's definitely a style you can employ here on the T side of Dust 2.
Just spamming away straight down mid, and Sunny is going to take the opportunity just to go completely aggro through bedroom. Flash over the top from Aerial allows him to find himself two. And this is looking good already. Alu on the hunt for a second of his own. Going to cop a bink, but that helmet keeping him alive for now. Yampy as well, just pushing through upper dark. So ENCE on the full aggressive after AGO just failed to get out of spawn at all.
Yeah, you saw two pushes there from ENCE actually in that round. Immediately after they saw all those Glocks spamming towards middle, I think it was Yampy was over towards B. The man just ran straight through upper dark, and then also Sunny was at long there, just gunning it straight out of long heart with the MP9 and flash over the top from Aerial. Looking for all of those kills on the eco, farm up some money on those MP9s, and they've kept over a lot of those MP9s into this round now, and aggression into tunnel.
Oh, and that's going to be shut down quickly. Groovy and MHL just dealing with these players nicely, and the lowest player, Yampy, goes down as well. So ENCE with the bonus round, not looking too good. So okay, and Aerial now just pretty much have to go for the save in a three-man disadvantage.
Yeah, keeping it competitive towards the start of the map is always good to see for AGO. It's a nice solid gun round. Does leave ENCE reeling a little bit, but if they save these two guns, they'll be able to build a pretty good buy in round 4.
So I'm seeing a bit of discussion, Jordan.
Yeah, mate.
And you know how we like to flip in the flop on the dink and the bink?
Oh, I love a bit of the flip and the flop on the dink and the bink.
Yeah, so that's happening. People are saying, it's a dink, not a bink. It's a bink, not a dink.
Uncultured.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's the same thing.
It's a bink. It's a bink.
It's like, hey, did you play Tony Hawk Pro Skater on Nintendo 64 or PlayStation 1?
PlayStation 2 was the only Tony Hawks that I played.
Oh, well, look.
I played
You're
Tony Hawk's
ruining my point.
Pro
The point
Skater
is,
4.
it was the same game no matter which platform you played.
And
it
I
on.
think I actually played the original on the PC when it came out, that remastered version.
Right. Oh, that like the bad remastered version? The one that like flopped?
Yeah.
Speaking of flipping and flopping. Well, there you go. Anyway, this is a better round coming out from AGO, just locking it down nice and early, dealing with the aggression from ENCE. And let's see if ENCE go for it again. This time, Yampi does have the AWP in hand, Alu as well, so double AWP setup coming out for the CTs. And is long control, Alu just finding Fiku early there. Glass cannon on Yampi not having too much effect yet.
On the topic of Bink, I think it's actually just an Australian thing. I think most countries say Dink, but in Australia we more or less say Bink. Anyway, Yampi, he doesn't need to worry about Binks or Dinks because he's got himself an AWP in hand, and 9 times out of 10 it's not going to matter whether you hit the headshot or not. Sunny and Yampi boosting up there, and they're doing a great job of it. Already AGO suffering a lot of losses there in mid. MHL is the last alive for AGO right now, and he doesn't last too long. 3-1 is the scoreline. Good response from ENCE after AGO picked up a nice gun round initially. All I'm going to say, Mac, is if anyone wants to argue about Bink versus Stink and say it's one way or another,
they're here for the wrong reasons.
I think they stink!
Hit him with the kitchen sink, Jordan.
That's right.
Well, AGO is starting to run out of cash here. They have secured that short control, so that's a key piece of map control very quickly into the round, I might add. 1 minute and 30 still on the clock, and they've already taken that short control with just Oscarish, but unfortunately they've lost MHL in the AWP on Optal. Yampi, big impact from the man. ENCE, a team with a very strong double AWP. Easy to forget that Yampi can be a pretty fearsome primary AWPer in his own right, and then you've got Alu as well, who, when he's on, don't think you're going to be getting past either of these Finnish AWPers.
And Alu does tend to have a good time on Dust too. It's Ariel that's looking to control long right now for the CT side, and he is going to have his work cut out for him. 4 remaining Ts headed in his direction as we wait and see what he's going to be able to do. Receives a flash from his teammate, Alu helping him out. That's already a good start for ENCE. And Alu also posted up now on the crossfire angle. It's going to be tough for AGO to dig Ariel out, even though they invested 2 mollies into Pit. He still survives, and that's a perfect round for ENCE. Excellent work.
Yeah, great support coming through. And great patience from the Pit player as well. Alu, I saw him with those 2 flashes and I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to be able to rotate and throw those in time. But he surely did. And that was Ariel just to hold control for long enough. ENCE looking solid on the defense already.
Now AGO having to go down to the pistols. ENCE very much stepping into this window where they're putting pressure on the economy. Now the utility as well as the AWP there doing quite a lot of damage to these pistoling players. And ENCE, they're looking absolutely clean and comfortable at the moment. Just look at their money. One of the biggest difficulties you can face on Dust 2 on the CT side is when you're having your economy pressured. And it's the complete opposite for ENCE at the moment. They're going to be able to fund all the utility and the double AWP setup for quite a time to come.
Prog smoke there, flashes in. No one dropping a CT. It's just the wrap through elbows. Sunny and Alu teaming up perfectly, but Fiku answering with the deagle shot of his own. Alu denying that bomb, and it's going to go to CT as well. That's the round already. Even if Fiku fights his way back, but manages to get the double dig. That's a nasty situation. 1 on 2 now, and he's got the AK in hand. All right, not waiting for the smoke on short, and both the CTs facing here. He's able to just survive somehow for this long. Okay, swapping to the glass cannon now. Yampi on the line, flash to allow Fiku back on it, but Jampy just stops it at the perfect moment. And that was a dangerous situation there for ENCE.
Yeah, a couple of binks coming through from Fiku with the deagle, and he gets some good work done. But AGO still not quite able to capitalize on it, unfortunately, for them. Yeah, it's damaging to the economy of ENCE, but
I think we need to establish something here, Jordan.
Yep.
A bink is where you shoot them in the head, but they don't die.
Okay.
If they get the deagle kills, that's a 1B.
I know, Pilly!
Okay.
I'm just messing with the chat.
Fair enough. You're messing with me, to be honest. I'm with you, chat.
I'll mess you up, all right?
And what's a gush?
A gush, Jordan.
That's where you headshot him, but they don't die.
And they don't have a helmet.
Yeah, and they don't have.
Because it makes a gush sound.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it's. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right, Mac. You're right. Because then what would a bink be if a gush was the same when they had
Wait,
a
so
headshot?
1B's for one big, right?
1B. Are you talking about beagles or something?
Yeah, beagles.
You gonna buy me a beagle?
I think
I'll take a beagle.
Hang on, a 1B is just a headshot. It doesn't matter what gun it's with.
Yes, that's true.
And a 1D is obviously with a Deeg.
But I was getting a bit excited about the beagles, Jordan. You a fan of the
Any
beagles?
binkers in chat? That's what I want to know.
Any Alu fans in chat?
Like, let's be real. You don't say Jar Jar Dinks. You say Jar Jar Binks. Like, that's all I'm going to... I think that settles the score, really.
It's a very little relevance. Very little.
What do you mean?
I think there's only Dinkers in chat right now.
No,
Anyway.
Dinko's not in chat.
He could be. It's his time zone.
This is how you know Jordan's done. 7 a.m. He wants to go back to bed. Very quick
Oh,
flash
no.
out of indoors, and Sonny's there to support. What a cleanup, Mac.
Yeah, crazy crossfire, and that's going to be bomb control as well. Oscarish has minimal utility, which he's going to utilize to try and get the bomb back, but for now he's blinded himself, and Alu, he's just waiting in the smoke, knowing that a push is about to come.
Oh, okay.
What? Oscarish? Okay. Anyway.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay, we're back on. Boys are on. Sergey, Yampy, what have you got for us? Crossfire still on the bomb. 30 seconds. No util for Oscarish, but he's actually just managed to find 2 flashes on the ground. So, from here, where's he go? Just trying to bait out this aggression from Sergey. Up on the scaffold. And he's just waiting. He's just too standoffish, waiting for a flank to come through. Jumps and grabs it, but goes back for more.
Oh.
And it's going to be Yampy to lock down the round. But a couple of nasty ones coming out there.
Yep. Crazy crossfire, you were saying, Mac. That sounds like a terrible mobile game. But
Crazy crossfire.
Do you want to fund it, my development of Crazy Crossfire? It's going to be the next big thing.
I think you'd probably get a copyright strike if you had that. Nice
probably
one
would.
tap, mate. Look at him, just
He's just chewing his gum.
so solid. Emotionless. Like a killer.
Like a killer.
Emotionless like a killer.
There you go.
Look, I think killers have
That really
a pretty
paints the
broad
picture.
range of emotions. Actually, last night I was watching interviews with a bunch of criminals. Hold on, chat, you're gonna love this.
Oh, you
Google
guys are going to love this.
Criminology, JSC, I think it is. JSC Criminology.
Ah, yes. Old
JSC
JFC.
Criminal Psychology. If you ever got an hour and a half where you can't sleep and you want some time to kill, that's what you got to watch. Some of those videos, they're very interesting.
People think I see.
Yes. Wow.
I understand now.
Intriguing.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, over to long we go as AGO. We're going to go toe-to-toe with Aerial again, but this time Molly stops him in their tracks. Smoke down, flash out, and AGO just looking to capitalize. Sunny with the counter utility, but the flash doesn't hit, but Aerial does, and it's going to be a few good bullets hit onto the tees, and not much armor here, so they're just going to fall like flies. MHL can't get back through the wrap, through the smoke, as Alu's ready for that one as well, and ENCE just make that round look so easy.
I don't know how keen AGO was going to be to go toward long anymore. Every time they've gone there, whether it's with the pistols, whether it's with the guns, they have not been able to dig Aerial out of pit. He has just been a brick wall. And ENCE are up 7-1. AGO need to do something different.
Wow. This is looking extremely one-sided, lads. I'm kind of waiting for AGO to turn up here. So no one's really been doing very much for him. Finally, MHL steps up, a nice flash to put him on the line from Furlan. What do AGO do with this man advantage? They're going to start heading towards middle, where Yampy is awaiting with the AWP, trying to even up the odds. Surprised he hasn't gone for one of those picks in the mid-round. He's instead just going to shift and rotate over towards this A side of the map.
Nice nade to soften Furlan up a little bit. Tenderize that bag of meat.
He's really furling that one.
Yep. You alright, man?
That hurt.
Are you alright? What happened?
Don't say that ever again.
Pilsy, don't punch Mac again. That was really mean.
Sorry, Mac.
I don't know why you did that.
Stop.
I just know he won't retaliate, because let's be real. It wouldn't be much of a contest.
He is a bit of a pussy.
Okay. Ha! AGO, they're going to go for this A split. Late smoke onto the long doors from Aerial, who's playing anti-flash here. And now the execute starts to come in for AGO. Progressing up Catwalk.
It's a nicely timed incendiary though from Yampy, but what is that shot from Furlan? Oh, that's disgusting. And Aerial can't do too much either.
Furlan, beautiful. He sets up the start of the round with the flashbang, and then he closes around with the entries on the AK. Mwah. Beautiful. This is right when AGO needed to get going, to be honest, lads. But look at how strong ENCE's money is. AGO, they're going to need another 2 gun rounds like that to get themselves back into the game and start to close this big scoreline disparity. This is where you guys are supposed to commentate.
There's nothing happening, Pilsen.
Yeah, they're just saving.
This is just...
You don't have any humour for us?
No, humour's not the way.
It's happening.
Like, that was pretty funny.
AK upgrade. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, cool. Beautiful.
Better from AGO. But it is only a drop in the ocean. They've got a lot of rounds still that they need in this first half.
You know that song? Drop in the Ocean?
No.
You ever just log on to someone's MySpace page and a Drop in the Ocean's playing? Blasting at you?
I never used MySpace.
Oh, okay.
That's a real boomer thing to say, Pilly. Anyway, back to the Zoomers. MHL is zoomed in on mid. Sergey, similar situation. Just rocking the org. As AGO looking to posture and control mid now, maybe make their way up short, but Alu's there laying in wait.
There's a rock in the org. It's not going to work very well. Probably jam the gun up.
I'll jam you if you keep this up. Anyway. Just waiting now. Beautiful flash. Alu off the line, but he's going to be stuck at the stairs now. Goes back for more. That's a freebie for Fiku. MHL with the assist, and now up short they go. ENCE, they need to reposition. They need Aerial to frag up a storm here, and he's going to try his heart out. That's going to be 2 quick ones. Back to the 3-on-3 we go. Nade into the smoke, and AGO, they're actually going to go for the reroute back to mid, but Yampy's at the ready. Forced back to B doors now. It's actually going to be the cover from
Aerial.
CT. Sunny and Aerial. That's bomb control, round control, another on the board for ENCE.
Those mid-round rotations from both teams. Really impressive, but ENCE gets one better.
Yeah, ENCE just won that round with utility. Key piece to util was from your man, Sunny. I believe. Let me see if I can catch it. It's actually 2 of them. I might show that in a minute. See how slow of a round this is, and if AGO is going to contest really quick. Seems like at the moment, yeah, they're just taking things a little bit slowly. Yampy might be able to find this AW peak pick. But AGO not really doing a whole lot of anything, at least for the time being. Yampy doesn't get that shot done, so now you're going to start to see AGO progress and take a bit of catwalk control. So in the meanwhile, I just wanted to show this because this was a pretty critical point in the round. Don't worry, boys. I'm looking. If something happens, I'm switching back. But there you go, the counter flash and the Molotov. That's what really won ENCE that round. Counter flash from Aerial and the molly from Sunny, I believe it was.
Just solid util.
Just stopped AGO right at the critical point. Just 2 grenades. What's the difference between AGO storming up catwalk there and winning the round, and ENCE shutting it down and being able to give themselves the time they need?
It's been a very slow round from AGO.
Yeah, well, that's it. ENCE just giving them so much map control, and they've managed to make their way up short nicely. But again, Sunny, he's going to be hiding here at Goose. Yampy spotting Oscarish there at Xbox, and now it's where it all starts to crumble for AGO. ENCE in just solid positions to deal with the short push. It looks like that's going to come in now. 1 flash to get them on the line. Alu going to be forced back to A-ramp. Counter utility again coming through. Alu goes forward. It's Sunny to close it from Goose. Traded from Fiku though, but MHL knows that Sunny's here around the corner. And MHL, he's got a man coming in to help him, but it's a 4v2 situation, and it looks like the round's already won by ENCE.
At least the incendiary went down, which means AGO can't really push into the bomb site. And now, as you mentioned, Mac, there's just no time. MHL and Groovy have a difficult and kind of dangerous job of hanging on to these weapons on short. There's a fair bit of money for ENCE, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and challenge late into the round here, but looks like they won't. A little bit more cognizant of the fact that maybe their economy is more worthwhile keeping topped up than trying to break AGO's. 9-2. I mean, to be honest, does ENCE really need to kind of push the issue all that much, or do they need to keep cruising along the way that they are? And I'd argue that it's more of the latter. ENCE don't need to change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, the boys over on ENCE really cruising along nicely. Haven't ever had their economy pressured too much. And AGO now going to try and force their way out long. They have found that opener.
And they're looking for a second too, but Sunny almost manages to spray transfer there, but Oscarish stops him in his tracks, and that's going to be a couple of free upgrades now, getting rid of those Galils in a moment. Alu, last line of defense, but he's going to be joined shortly by Sergey here.
Yeah, I think AGO is just going to start to slow this round down. You can see Groovy sitting on that infamous Dust 2 deathmatch line, really just waiting for the boys to push into upper or try to catch someone pushing through middle, because ENCE is at a man disadvantage situation. They need to make something happen. You can see them a little bit antsy, sort of shifting around, looking for an angle, looking for an opportunity here as AGO start to make their way back through spawn. Sergey's 2-1. He hasn't disconnected or something, has he? There's no way he's 2-1, right?
I want to say he has, but
the HLTV scoreboard shows that he's 2-1 as well. What? Surely not.
He's been playing mid, hasn't he? So no, I think that's not true.
Surely not.
Well, he hasn't had a huge amount of influence at the moment.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, if that's accurate. 2-1, 12 rounds in. Well, Molly dropped at a beautiful timing here for Yampy. You can see on the other side of the map, MHL, he's trying to find that pick with the AWP, and after the utility pressure does come in here, Sergey...
They've committed to this rotate, and Sergey is in the perfect position to deal with it, but it's a 1-for-1. Alu hits back onto Groovy, and now it's an awkward situation because Alu needs to go down, and that's going to work. There's just enough time to get to site as Yampy comes in through CT. MHL to A-ramp, and beautifully timed AGO might be able to convert.
Maybe. Yampy's not too shabby himself, and there's a decent amount of cash for ENCE. So, again, he does have that option of going for this retake if he wants to. And it certainly looks like he does. Flash is going to get popped up over the top. Furlan and MHL give him nothing. 9-3. AGO continue to try and plug away at this first half.
Very nicely done for them. Mid-rounded their way out of a bad situation, AGO. Oh, well, to be fair, they got those favourable trades towards long and then mid-rounded their way through. So they did a decent job there up until the point where they ran into that crossfire between Alu and Sergey. But still got those trades. Still got the kills that they needed to get, even though it got a bit dicey. And they get their third round on the board, and there's a pick for MHL. Right off the bat, straight out of B. He's found Yampy trying to cross up on top of Heaton there.
And that's a huge pick to get, but AGO not accelerating off the back of it. Flash through doors now. They're going to send Furlan in. If they can get this other entry onto Sergey, it's looking good, but counter utility a little bit too strong. MHL for the trade. That's the 3v3 and almost full control of site, but they need to get past Sunny here. No smoke on the doors just yet. It's about to pop, and AGO.
That nade.
No, it's Aerial to get it done.
Yeah, through the smoke, he just spams down MHL. Now Fiku in a good spot. Can't hang on to anything. And an Alu Kobe to finish the round for ENCE, 10-3. Double AWPs retained. A bit of a messy round in the end there for ENCE, but they get it over the line. It's okay. Sort of breaking the economy of AGO as well. They're in a half-buy kind of a situation here. Pistol and armor, or it's going to be the investment, the full investment more or less.
That's a dangerous call.
So they're fighting 10-5 instead of going for the 11-4.
If they can secure themselves a bomb plant here, they still have a full buy into the next regardless. But let's see Yampy, so aggressive out mid, but just barely survives on 33 HP, falling back through the doors.
He almost gets spammed down there by the scout. AGO make their way straight out of middle, though. A lot of pressure on Yampy here. It seems like they're setting up for this mid to be split.
Oh, but Yampy stopping that one nicely. Second for him as well, just redirecting the focus back to Upper Dark now, coming through the smoke. But Sergey's here to take contact over the top. Yampy with another. It's the AWPs just reigning supreme in round 14. And an 11 goes on the board for ENCE.
just dominating. Same thing that we saw on Train, Jordan.
Yep. Big turnaround from ENCE. And a nice full buy into the final round of the half. AGO have got themselves at least something to play with, though the Scout for MHL, not ideal. Obviously the Galil there for Fiku, it's substandard as well, but workable. Yampy's going to try and get aggressive into mid. I wonder if AGO heard that. Doesn't look like they're too bothered, regardless whether they did or not. And the challenge is on to Sunny, who's just caught out in no man's land. And it's all Alu now to defend the bomb site. The AWP in hand, and he's been good from this position in ESL Pro League so far, but only landing one shot. Gets himself back across, and here's a chance on the Furl. And again, a big flick attempt from Alu, but it falls by the wayside.
Where'd ENCE go? They're all gone. Sergey can't get the crouch jump, so he needs to hit the KZs. But he needs to hit some Ts as well, and he's not going to do it in the final round of the half. AGO take 4, and now we have to go to a short break before the second and final half of the series is upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. We'll see you in a minute.
Takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Get my gun, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out.
Doesn't have the time, always talks about all the other guys. Will I ever understand? Without her, it's not fair, I need you back. No more crying at the end, I'll do it again.
$11-4 for ENCE, and the storyline from Train continues. AGO just not showing up in these second two maps. They had a phenomenal performance on Mirage, but a one-map wonder is not good enough in a best-of-3 series. It's just like Eiffel 65 when they released Blue. No one knows any of their other songs, and apparently for AGO, they don't have any other maps that they can play in this best-of-3. So ENCE are looking like they might complete the reverse sweep, and they move on to their T side, pistol round, all important. at least for AGO.
Now listen up. Here's a story about a little boy that lived in a blue world.
Blue his house, blue with a window, and a blue for red.
Blue Corvette, actually. But look, you're pretty close. Anyway, it's going to be AGO on the blue side, on the CT side for now. Just looking to fight from the disadvantage. And ENCE, they found long control completely for free. Sunny going to be spotting Furl and Jiggling. Makes his way to pit for free.
My whole worldview's been shattered. I honestly thought it was a blue for red. Kind of makes sense in the context of the song, don't you think?
With a blue Corvette sitting at the front of the house, what do you mean?
Yeah, but he's living in a blue world. So instead of red, he's got a blue for red. A blue color for red. Anyways.
Hey.
Nice.
Do you guys see this round of Counter-Strike?
Yeah, I've talked about it.
It's pretty cool.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, well, I'm looking at the flashes that Ariel's throwing over Carl right now for his teammates to get up onto this A site.
Oh, he's done a pretty good job as well, and so is Yampy just clearing out the site for now. CT going to be cleared out in a moment, but Groovy with the P2K has been looking dangerous today. Bomb going to be planted for Plat now as the wrap comes through. Furlan jumping for info, but Sergey just waiting for the reapproach, crabbing all the way around as Groovy hunts the head, and there it is. 3-on-3 now, no smoke, but a kit in play. Furlan has it though, and he's down in CT. It's going to be Groovy just cleaning up almost on his own. Sunny coming in from long, Alu on short as well, and that's going to be too strong of a crossfire as ENCE just clean it up and send it to 12-4. Boys, this is looking like it could be all she wrote.
Yep, certainly seems that way. That was the round that AGO needed, and it doesn't mean that their life's going to get any easier heading into the rest of this half.
Groovy's given me some, like, nothing vibes on that P2000 when the man was, like, top-rated pistoling player on that C9 roster. Haven't seen anyone make that P2K look quite that good for a while. That's not great for AGO. They're trying to duel Yampy's scout in mid, and everyone's just copping tags right and left and dying, falling over. And so got that catwalk control. Sunny's doing something.
Yep. Oscarish is kind of cottoning onto it, although that spam through the smoke is going to give away his position, and that's not good news. Mac-10 chasing him down for Sunny, and now B-site is cracked open. Looks like ENCE have plenty of options, and they're actually not electing to head towards B. They've collected the bomb from T-spawn, taking their sweet time to get it down into mid.
Last line of defense from the B side is going to be spotted crossing back to A, and Alu hears this rotation through, but Groovy, look at the time, and he just barely gets off the line. And at long range, he might be able to upgrade to that AK. Leave the FAMAS behind, but ENCE are happy to go for the hunt here. Probably going to be going for the upgrades into the next round anyway, and they really want to get the mitts on the AK, which they will successfully. And Furlan at long range has the Deagle to play with. But I dare say ENCE just don't want more than just the AK. And this should be 13 secured. 9-round lead so far for ENCE as AGO slow start in the second half.
Slow start in the last two games.
Yep.
To be honest. That's cool.
Go for it. Get the gun, son.
No.
Come on. Run at it.
No.
Get a few.
It's a long way back.
Feed him.
He's in his comfort zone.
Feed
Leave
him.
Alone.
Nah. Not this time. He's not hungry enough. He knows when he's full. It's going to be a nice opening from Yampy in round 17. But as we head into round 18, what has AGO got for us?
Nothing. They're saving. Every time I see Yampy, I just think of Jordan singing the Schnappy song.
Yeah.
Das kleine Krokodil.
That was actually...
what language is that?
Good. That's German.
The German one, yep.
Ich bin Yampy. I can't really think of anything that like sort of rhymes with crocodile for him to be.
Yeah, not many things rhyme with that. That's probably why.
Why don't you just smile?
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. There's a big stack on the B bomb site from AGO, and I reckon ENCE has probably figured that out. ENCE are leaving the bomb back toward T-spawn quite a lot in these rounds. Very slow T-side so far from ENCE, even though they've been against weaker buys.
Oh well. AGO at least have some time to practice their KZ there on the B site, so pretty happy. Just making sure the movement's all ready, warmed up, legs are good to go for their gun round.
Yeah, this game's over. Like, you guys ever
Wow.
see... Yeah,
Are you leaking the script?
You guys ever see a CT side team come back on Dust 2?
No.
Like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because of the economy.
Yeah. It happens. You just got to believe.
It almost never
Speaking
happens.
of...
I'd like to know the percentage of comebacks on
Pilski.
the CT side. Yeah, okay. No.
Tell me.
I don't know. I don't want to
How
tell you anything.
many rounds will it take AGO to get on the board before you believe that the comeback
I hate
is
you
going to
more
happen?
every day, Mac.
Why?
Just because. No reason. No reason.
You know, I think to myself, Jordan,
What a wonderful world.
only 6 more days. But then I realised that we have to do Asia and Osu with this guy as well.
Woo!
No.
Jordan,
Any
full
of you
on
guys in
head-to-heads.
Twitch chat, if you've ever cast before,
Have you guys casted before?
and you'd like to cast some Asian Counter-Strike with myself and Pilski, we are looking to replace one member of the desk. I won't say who it is.
Oh, he's our boy. Oh, he's our boy. No, this is actually a serious round. Furlan's gone down early, and AGO look like they're about to completely be cracked, and ENCE could just win this 16-4 from here.
Yeah, and not cracked in the NA way. But is the good version of cracked.
No.
Like falling apart cracked.
Yeah, that's the one.
2 players on B, 2 players on A. Not much of a defense in mid, and ENCE at the moment heading in that direction. They might actually look to exploit it shortly.
Groovy's out long there. He's managed to clean out the angles here behind the blue bin and make his way into bedroom. To be honest, probably should have just opted to climb into the bin or have a lie down in the bedroom because nothing else is really happening for AGO at this point.
Well, let's see if ENCE just decide to end up going for the B split from this position. Looks like Alu's gone back with the flash to send Sergey out mid. He's cleared close. Off the back of that, surely we see mid to B smoke, maybe coming out from Sunny in a second. Although out long, Ariel's gone after the pick, and he's going to be traded through. So MHL at least able to continue fighting. Fiku goes down at mid. Oskarish deals with him nicely, but as he gets to window, the push comes out. Tunnels as Oskarish finds another. So there is a chance, but MHL needs to hit everything.
And he has done so much work to give AGO the opportunity here, but how does MHL make this one happen? Alu would have heard him booking it up there, and he's just going to drop down into CT spawn. If MHL doesn't push through this smoke, Alu gets the shot in the back, and that's the end of it. 15-4, and ENCE now on match and series point. A good attempt from x-kom AGO today, but unfortunately, one map does not a series victory make.
Yeah, and that's just AGO in a nutshell, I feel. They have a couple of maps that they're very strong at in the pool, but they haven't really developed that map pool at this level of competition yet, unfortunately. Okay, just running straight through the smoke. Towards upper.
ENCE looking quite confident in this round. Alu's waiting for the push to come through from Fiku, but the grenade will be enough. Lands right at the feet. And it's just Groovy and MHL now trying to salvage things, but they won't be able to do it. Ariel finishes it with a double kill, and that is the end of the series. ENCE wins it 2-1 and puts themselves in a better position in ESL Pro League Season 12. They're moving up in the world.
Hello guys, this is NP Twist. Gonna do some tricks for you, and today we're gonna go through the outside smokes. So I'm gonna first show you the basic smokes and tell you the pros and cons for that. So the two first smokes are gonna be like this. The red smokes, as we call it in NIP. Oh, what the hell? Anyway, this smoke is gonna land here. So it's gonna cover you basically, so you can pass to underground. The only downside with this is you don't get that much space in the yard. So the opponents will have a lot of territory, like they will be able to see a lot, and if they even have a guy here, then it's kinda, they know what you're doing unless you really just run them over, but it's an easy spam for them. But yeah, the pros are to get down secret, to just get this area, so the CTs have to rotate a bit, yeah. And the cons is you can get really demolished over there. I see a lot of like fewer teams try to do these smokes. The majority of teams usually do this wall over here. We call it the, I think we call it the complexity smokes or mouse smokes, I don't know. Anyway, that's like, that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna tell you the pros and cons with this as well. Yeah. One really bad con is that you can do like kind of one way, like on the CT blue. You can jump here and just get like perfect angle. Astralis abuse this a lot, device usually. Just get some perfect spam over there, like perfect info. That's the con, but the pros to this, you can go down secret if you take this route. And just walk over here like sneaky. You need to be silent because they're gonna hear anything. You can sit at the smokes here, just wait the smokes to fade and just clear. Like you have one teammate here and one teammate here, just clear each side. Maybe you want to throw a really nice pop flash as well. Like that. Boom, takes everything, takes every corner. Maybe not this corner, but who sits like this? Yeah.
Can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. It's just I never thought you were sitting next to me. I don't understand. It's just I never seen you smile. You wanna make out, give me a second. To focus pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not take a chance and I can't pretend to like you.
On the scoreline today, ENCE gets over the line against AGO, and I gotta say, they had us in the first map, AGO 16-2 on Mirage, and we thought, ooh, you know what, maybe this will be something a bit interesting, but there's always that ever-present threat of the reverse sweep, and a reverse sweep it was. ENCE pick up the 16-6 on Train and a 16-4 on Dust 2. Comprehensive series victory, and it feels like a comfortable result for them in the end there. AGO not able to cut the mustard as we head into the Mountain Dew Game Fuel post-match. What do you guys have to say about that map? I mean, it really feels like it was always going to be ENCE's victory after that first half.
Oh, it was a much more convincing win from ENCE. I think first map, very convincing win for AGO. ENCE didn't show up. Second map, sort of just like a cruise through the map from ENCE, nothing crazy. Third map, that was where the firepower started to warm up for ENCE, and you started to see them take a much more convincing victory away.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to wrap it up. I feel like what I was saying in the break was, look, AGO, if they don't get Vertigo in the map pool, it's pretty hard for them to win at the moment because they just don't have a solid map pool overall. Yeah, that Mirage looked amazing. Yeah, their Vertigo's looking pretty good, but everything else kind of was just super lackluster there.
Yeah, and you're never going to get Vertigo against ENCE, so that's the unfortunate reality there for AGO. We saw on Dust 2, I mean, really just good stuff from ENCE. It kind of felt like across the board they were all fragging well. Yampy maybe the standout for me, but I feel like it was really an effort by committee more so than anything else, even though Sergey at some point, 11 rounds in, seemed to only have 2 frags. Not sure what was going on there, but...
the life of a Bianca when they never head in your direction, unfortunately. That's sometimes how it goes. Yeah, I would say that as well. Similar to the G2 game, actually. All of the ENCE players fragging across the board, putting in a really good level of performance. Yep. That's what we want to see from them, and that's why they're doing so fantastically in Pro League at the moment. They're right up the top of the group there.
Yeah, right up there with Na'Vi, who also got the win today. So they're still both tied for first currently. I can't wait to see who ends up coming out on top, or if they're going to be staying tied the whole way through.
Who ends up coming up on top? Who ends up? Sorry, were you going to say something, Jordan? Or?
No, I thought I might just leave it there. Because
all right, that's the end of the show then. Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Thanks for coming. Hopefully we don't have any more of that tomorrow for you. Okay, look, let's think a little bit about AGO here now. It sort of seems like their run is probably not necessarily done in Pro League. Obviously, they have to finish off their matches, but I fail to see them making it into playoffs from a position like this now.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the realistic expectation for them, was that they weren't going to make playoffs, and this was just going to be a little bit of a development project for them. So we'll have to see in terms of their map pool if they can expand it as time goes on, and if they improve on a few of these things from Pro League.
And for ENCE, Mac, like you said, toward the top end of the standings, it's fairly reasonable to assume that they might even be able to win this group, but whether or not they do that, they should be a shoo-in for the playoffs at least.
Yeah, you'd assume so. At this point, you look, there's the 4 wins on the board now, or is it 5?
I think it's 4.
4, but 5 matches played. So, yeah, they should be able to still be in that top 4 no matter what, but it depends on how all the other games go. There's a lot of teams there with the 1 and 2, 2 and 1s in the group, so still, it's just trying to figure out which way it's going to go.
Very good indeed. And of course, we're going to have to wait and see how they're going to be able to go about that. There's a little bit left in the season of ESL Pro League, just 1 more week, although we do have a day off tomorrow. But let's have a look back at today and the results that we had. It was ENCE a 2-1 over AGO, and they struggled a little bit on Mirage, but by and large, a very good result for ENCE today. Over on the mainstream, they've had their 3 matches as well, and we'll see the results of those. 2-1 for Heroic, a 2-1 for Na'Vi as well. You mentioned that one, Mac. They got the win today as well. And currently, Furia and Liquid into their second map, with Furia having a 1-0
No,
lead.
it's over.
Oh, it's over?
Yep.
It's
Furia
just
just won to 16 to like 6 or something.
There you go. I thought it was 8-7 at the half. So anyway, it doesn't
maybe
matter.
maybe more than 6.
I thought it was going to be a really close map, but based on what you're saying, maybe it wasn't. And I guess not necessarily a close series as well. A 2-0 speaks for itself.
Yeah, so pretty nuts. The fact that Furia managed to take down Liquid, who we thought was going to be one of the higher contenders. So again, that's going to throw a bit of a nail in the works, because now you got Chaos there, who's also beat Furia. So now there's going to be this like 4-way situation going on at the top over in NA, and who knows which way it's going to end up in the end.
Yeah, I think it was 16-8 as well, Pilski.
2 16-8s.
Yeah, so there you go.
There you go.
All right, well, speaking of all of that going on tomorrow, I guess it's prudent for us to show you what's coming up. And for us here, it's going to be Chaos and Triumph. So we get to check out what those two teams have been doing. Seen a fair few games from both of them so far in this season. Moving over onto the A stream, what you'll be finding there tomorrow as well, looking pretty good. It's Fnatic to start off against, FaZe to start off against Spirit, I should say. Vitality and Fnatic to play second, and then Astralis and IP. So again, some pretty good matches over there on the A stream, as is always the case.
I don't have to come in tomorrow, do I?
Why?
I mean, day after tomorrow.
Well, not tomorrow. Yes, it should be. Yes, I should have clarified that.
Yeah, in 2 days.
The tomorrow ESL Pro League
Look,
day.
Jordan's just so pumped for more Pro League. He wants to come back tomorrow. He doesn't want a day off. And look, I'm right there with you. I'm keen. I can't get enough of this Counter-Strike. It's been so good.
Do you ever just work so much that you get to the point where when you do have a day off, you're like, what do I do with my day off?
I'll watch Counter-Strike.
That's pretty much what it ends up being. It's like, well, I may as well be there getting paid to do it. Anyway, we won't be here tomorrow, but we hope you guys will come back on the following days. So enjoy your day off from us. We'll enjoy our day off as well, and we'll come back refreshed for that Chaos and Triumph game in a couple of days. We'll see you then.
I still want something that can last. You make me feel like I'm okay. We both know that you feel the same. Ooh, baby, I got nothing else to prove. You're talking about your best at me. Remember that you always get to choose. Talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me. But baby, can you tell me who you want? Talk to me. I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me. But baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Friends, yeah, I guess you got more intention. Got no place I'd rather be, feel like another dimension. I don't wanna talk, baby, you should let it go. I don't wanna go, let me stay a little more. Talk to me, I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me. But baby, can you tell me who you wanna be? Talk to me, I just want a little bit of company. You're acting like you really wanna fall for me. Baby, can you tell me who you want to be?
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chances, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.